All right, let me do a big stretch. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. We've got 20 viewers already at the beginning of this live stream, and an impromptu, I think probably an hour ago, I decided, you know what, let's do a live stream. So very happy that you guys were able to click on links and somehow find your way here. Feel free to spread the word. We're going to be doing this for, let's say about 2 hours or so. I think that'll do it. Maybe a little bit more. We'll see how the price action goes, how exciting it gets. Right now we're looking at, of course, one of my more favorite charts is the Bitcoin Wisdom charts, as well as we have btccharts.com up here. And recently, right before the show, closed out a long position just because I was so busy setting up this show and everything, and then I saw that the price dropped, and I got a little scared. So I'm kind of like, I don't want to be concentrating on the stupid show and miss something out. So then I also, as you see here, I put a short, and I sold 40 BTC at 564, and that's just because I started seeing some down action here, and just seeing if we're going to have a little bit of a correction, even if it goes down to, let's say, let me set this. This is a 5-minute chart here. Even if we come down as low as about right here, 557 or something like that, even if I picked up that 40 again there, that would be okay. It'd be a couple dollars profit and so forth. What I'm trying to do right now with margin trading is maximizing some of the profits and stuff, so that I can get back into the red, or I'm sorry, the black. Get back into the black. I'm in the red right now. So let's see. We've got 22 viewers. We also got some people in the Bonavest chat room at chat.bonavest.com. Check that out. That's pretty much what I'm going to be monitoring that in Twitter. So if you got Twitter, it's probably the only thing I ever use Twitter for is the Bonavest show. So there's not a better reason to use Twitter than to use it for the Bonavest show. So get on there. It's twitter.com/Bonavest. All right, just looking up some stuff here, getting set up. We're going to be talking today a little bit about margin trading, and that's what I've been doing recently, trying to I guess maximize my profits and trying to get back into the black. So I've been using margin trading and then also using leverage, and that's one of the things that definitely is, quote, helping me get back into where I want to be at, because I am using 2.5 to 1 leverage, so 2.5 to 1 leverage on my trade. So essentially that's saying that when I trade, I can trade with about 2.5 times the amount of BTC than I actually have. In this case here on Bitfinex, you can see here on my totals at the top here, I have 30.99 BTC. So essentially, when I trade with the full leverage, if I choose to use all of my leverage, 2.5, I can hold a position of up to about, let's just round it off at 30, I can do about 75 BTC. So that's what that means. It's 2.5 times what I actually have in cash or coin. So that's what the leverage is helping me do. We are seeing some more down pressure here, because I see the profit starting, or the negative getting smaller here. So we're sitting at 564, and if we read here, this is my active positions on margin trading. So it's showing me what pair I'm on, shows me the amount, and it's going to be positive or negative. And in this case, I'm shorting it, so it's showing that it's a negative because I sold 40 bitcoins to the market at $564. So we'll talk about this a little bit later. So right now I'm sitting at a negative $179, and you may be wondering, well, wait a second, the current price is $564, and my base price here that I sold at was $564.30. I should see a profit right now. Well, I believe this profit and loss also calculates in some of the fees and so forth. So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why I still show a negative there, is because it's also calculating in the whole, 2% trade and all that kind of stuff. All those fees and stuff are accounted in there, which is great, because that means that you have a more accurate number there to go by on your profit and loss. So I kind of like that. So that's good with me. So yeah, we're just bouncing around here. We went up to 567 here, and you'll notice there's the gap. So you've got about 566, 567. So as it bounces between there, you'll see it go up and down by $1. Not too worried. We're going to hang on. This is a 5-minute chart, which I've been looking at lately more often than I have in the past. Just because I want to stay on top of some of the price action, make sure I know which way it's going to be headed. I am looking for some other people to get on the mic with me on the show. We've got 36 viewers now. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. See if we can't spread the word on the Twitter sphere or in the troll box. Let them know that Bonavest is doing a live show. It's been a long time. And we are going to be talking a little bit more about how margin trading works. And for those of you that haven't been using Bitfinex in the past, we'll go over a little bit about how their interface works, because it is a little confusing. Even for me, I've been using it a while, and there's a few things that's like, I forgot about that, or it didn't make sense, or whatever. So we'll go over all these numbers and what they mean. Because I've got a trade open right now, we'll actually be able to look at the swaps and the percent interest. So when you do margin trading and you're using someone else's money, you're paying interest for that money and how much it costs. So we'll go over that here in a little bit once we get a few more people in here. Meanwhile, we'll watch the walls here on BTC charts. I do pop in here into the chat room at BTC charts every now and again. I usually sit there watching it, and then, you know, if something pops up in the chat room, I'll mention in there something. The show gets way more interesting if somebody is on the mic here with me. We have a little bit more of a back and forth and so forth. So if you got a mic, you don't have to have a web camera, but if you have a mic, let me know in chat.bonavest.com. Let me know you've got a mic and you're ready to get on the show with me, and I'll send you a link. It's so lonely in here. Oh, whatever. Let's talk about a little bit about the price action that's been going on. Let's zoom out a little bit to the 4-hour. So all we've been seeing for the last couple of months is down pressure, down pressure. We see all these spikes that have been going on. If you take a look, this is all the way back into November and so forth, but some of these spikes have been like, here's a spike up from the low down here, the low of 380, it spiked up, and then it dribbles down. This is probably where I had a hard time, and we've talked about before, where I really had a hard time keeping up with the action and just wasn't doing things right. And that's kind of when I decided to take a break. As we fell down this direction here, around 640, I had purchased a bunch of Bitcoins, and I started getting more involved in my job. I started my job, and that didn't work out so good, because as I got, you know, moving across country and starting the new job and so forth, I didn't really pay much attention to the price action. So I bought in with all my like $30,000 at 641 and didn't really pay attention as it dropped right after that. And I was trying to weather the storm, but I didn't end up selling up here at 625. I figured, okay, we're hitting this bottom right here at 530. So hey, we're coming back, and it didn't. It fell all the way down. So another couple of failures we'll talk about down here at the bottom, and next thing I know, I am at about maybe 45% of my $30,000. So I was like definitely in the red. I'm still in the red, but definitely feeling better now, because as you can see here, I think we've hit a bottom. We've at a turning point. You know, I think we're going the other direction. So this is all good things that we're seeing here. Checking the price action here. This is live trading, so I got to watch my money. So let's get back to the chart here. Oops. So anyway, down here there was a lot of mistakes made I should have capitalized on this big jump up, and I really didn't, not as much as I should have. So at this point I started actively getting back into trading, even though I wasn't doing any of the shows, and doing okay. The low point of my balance, if we go to Bitfinex here, the low point of my balance of BTC was 24 BTC. Now understand that that was after I had 52 BTC. I think I've actually purchased 54 BTC at one point. So to have 30 BTC right now, even after the last few days, I've gained about 7 BTC over the last couple of days, is bad. It's not good, but it's better. So one of those things of, you got to pull your bootstraps up and just keep on trading. I made a mistake. There was 2 mistakes that happened, brought me down to about less than half of my BTC, half of my money, my value is just sitting there. Bad days, right? So now that we're seeing this turnaround here, that's definitely what I'm using my leverage to help get me back up. And the reason why is because if I just held on to my 24 BTC, even today at $568, it'd still be 24 BTC. Therefore, it wouldn't be helping me gain anything. So the leverage allows me to trade on this up movement, like I said, like 2.5 times. So even at 24, I could be holding on trading like 60 BTC instead of just the 24. So if it moves up $100, I'm making 60 60 BTC times the $24 as opposed to the 24 BTC times $24. So that's where the leverage has been helping me out. What we're seeing right here is we took a little bit of a dive here on the 5-minute, hit down to as low as 563. Right now we're starting to come up a little bit. Not too worried about it. I think we may end up coming up maybe as high as 570 something. But I think we're still going to head down a little bit further. Once again, this is the 5-minute. So really, if you zoom out to like even a 15, you'll see that this isn't too impressive yet. I think there's a little bit more down coming here. So we're just going to hold on to my position. That's a short right now at 40 BTC. See, we've got a couple people on Twitter favoriting and retweeting. That's good. Still looking for some guests on the show. And how many viewers we got? All right, 43 viewers. Nice. Tell you what, if we hit 50 viewers, we'll start discussing Bitfinex and all the fields and information here. If you haven't used Bitfinex, or if you recently transferred money there and you're kind of waiting to know a little bit more before you dive into it with all your money, let's talk about it. Let's get about another 7 viewers in here, and we will do that. X1NRM4 says hello. Why, hello there. If you got questions, you can join us on the Google Plus interface. There should be a link there on the bonavest.com website. Just click there. You can actually ask questions and put them in there, and other people can +1 your question if it's a good question. And we will answer it here live on the show. Yeah, I've learned more and more with holding some of these positions that you just got to wait and see what happens. Don't get too jittery. The thing that sucks about when you're actually looking at the numbers of these positions here, you get to see this negative number here. Normally speaking, if you buy and sell just the Bitcoin, you might buy a Bitcoin at this price and the price goes down and you're negative, but you don't actually keep getting reminded by seeing this number in front of you that says you're losing money. Yeah, you don't. It's like, oh, well, I just got some BTC, great. And this margin trading is more like, I don't really have 40 BTC. I just have this position that's out there with 40 BTC. I don't actually own 40 BTC for this. So it's kind of like you just stare at this negative or positive number, and sometimes you see it go negative and you get a little worried. And it's like, yeah, just hang on. Just like you would if you bought some BTC and the price went the other way or it got cheaper or whatever. You just you hold on to it and you wait and see. All right, so we're hanging on at 42 viewers. So I'll tell you what, let's go into Bitfinex. Bitfinex, what can I say about it? It's a pretty website. They jazzed it up from the way it was before, when it was like orangey background with black text. So now it looks actually like a decent website. And as you log in, some things that might confuse you about it. They have these things called wallets. Also, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you make a comment, give a little timestamp of when we start talking about certain topics or whatever that really help out myself as well as other people viewing the show, of knowing exactly where to click in this long video so they don't have to like fast forward or anything like that. So right now we're going to talk about Bitfinex, how to use Bitfinex in trading. They have wallets. And there's a button here called Manage Wallets. So the thing to wrap your head around is that they have 3 different wallets. They've got, if you go to Manage Wallets, you've got trading, deposit, and exchange. So what the way these are set up is trading actually means margin trading. Exchange actually means like probably what you're used to on any other of your trading websites or Coinbase, is that this is supposedly the wallet where you exchange US dollars for BTC. or when you just buy BTC. So if you're thinking like in BTCE or any of the other sites, when you're buying and selling BTC, you're exchanging dollars for BTC. This is where it'll show up at exchange. So when you transfer in BTC, it actually goes to deposit. And then you got to move it from the deposit wallet to either the exchange wallet to buy and sell your actual Bitcoins, or you can send it over to the trading wallet, and then you can actually use margin to trade and add in leverage if you like. So once you get these numbers typed in here, say you're in a deposit, you'll type in, well, my $100 that I transferred in or whatever, it's US or it's a USD, and I want to go from the deposit wallet to the trading wallet because I'm going to margin trade, and you'll hit transfer, and it'll transfer $100 from the deposit wallet. I know this is kind of confusing, and it's going to go to the trading wallet as USD. So the cool thing about margin trading, as opposed to other sites where you have Bitcoin and you have dollars, is that it doesn't matter whether you have dollars or Bitcoin in your trading wallet. You're just trading based on damn it, it's going the other way. We'll hang on, see what happens here. You're trading based on what you have, your net value, your net assets. Doesn't matter whether it's coin or dollars. That's what it's going to use when you start putting on these positions. And the way it uses that is it's saying, well, what is your leverage? And you can select this leverage. I think if you go here, count settings, and scroll right down at the bottom, leverage options. You can select 1-to-1, 2-to-1, or in my case 2.5-to-1. Also, there's a number here you should be aware of called required margin. So let's go back one screen. Required margin is set right here for you. Required margin is 29.34. That means that right now at this moment, I have to have at least $2,900 worth of assets. So out of my coin or my US dollar, I gotta have to hold this open without them closing it down and shutting it off, selling it out, or essentially just returning the position. I gotta have $3,000. Well, I have way more than $3,000 with 30 BTC, so I'm good. I just have to know what that number is, because if it ever gets that low, then boom, they're gonna liquidate me. And that brings us to liquidation price. Liquidation price is just their price of kind of telling you about if the price of Bitcoin ever hit $2,214, these 40 BTC, they would go ahead and buy back. Because I sold them, they're going to buy them back and close me out. And whatever my profit loss is, I'm going to eat it. That's what the liquidation price is. Now, obviously, it's not going to get there anytime soon, so I'm probably pretty good that if I hold this and it starts to ramp up and get negative, it's okay, it's going against me. Only at this price around, and it'll tell you here, the little disclaimer here, it's about this price, will it liquidate me and say, you know what, we need to get our money back, and they just close out the position, and you're stuck with whatever loss or profit that you have. Actually, that would always be a loss. So what else? We've got your unrealized profit loss. So that means if I closed out right now, and if you hit close, there is no okay, yes, no, are you sure? You hit close, it closes out this position. It's going to do a market order for whatever it is, whether it needs to buy or sell, whatever it is to close it out, it's going to do it at the market price. So be very careful clicking to close. There's no other secondary button to say yes, no, or maybe. It just closes it out. So whatever profit loss, it won't necessarily be that. This is very kind of like, it's about this. Essentially, all you have to do is say, well, if there's 40 BTC, and I look at the little order book right here, since I sold, I got to buy back. So I would have to be buying back at 569 or so. Yeah, 569.2. So it would probably hit all of that 40 would hit there, boom. Now sometimes when the order book's very small like this, it's going to do a market order, so it'll sell or buy or whatever all the way back to where it'll finally close you out. So you'll possibly get less of a profit or more of a loss because it'll go further back into the order book. So be very careful with that close option. I usually only use it when it's like in this case, if I wanted to close it out and buy back, I see there's like 150 Bitcoin stacked right there. So if I hit the close button, more than likely it's going to hit in this area. I definitely don't like doing it when there's like, if I was going to close out a long position and I need to sell, and let's say right here at 567.1 there's like 30, or in this case we have 40, let's just say there said 50, and then it's like 216, 215, whatever back here. I don't want to hit the close button because in the time it takes me to flip screens, hit the close button, wait for the site to put in the order, blah, 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 if that 50 gets pulled, then I just did a market order and it's going to hit all these 2s and 1s all the way down till it closes me out. So be very careful hitting the close button. The other click here is called claim. There is some other screens that you have to go through after you hit claim, but claim is for when, let's say, you have more BTC or more value here than you do here, and you want to just take out some of your profit. So if you have some profit and you say, well, I just want the cash because I need to go over to actually buy real Bitcoins with the profit, you could hit claim. I haven't had to use that because I'm always trading with way more than what I actually have, so I really can't claim my profit because I can't buy back the actual Bitcoins. So yeah, I haven't been able to use the claim, so I really can't explain that too much in detail as far as how they do it here on Bitfinex. Some other numbers here, of course, are your margin balance, which is actually your total in the trading wallet. I don't believe it counts the exchange wallets. I'm not sure on that, but I believe when you're looking at it like this, I think that balance tells me just the trading wallet. You guys can double check that for me. If you guys have all your money in the exchange, you can tell me if it says the balance is up there. I'm not sure. But down here where it says margin balance, it's always this for me because I have all my money in the trading balance. And essentially it's saying that's my margin balance and my leverage is based on that number. So if it was 1-to-1, that means I can only trade up to 17,943. In this case, with 2.5-to-1, my tradable balance is way more. Obviously, I have 40 BTC right now, so it's going to lower that number. I think right now, all in all, it was up to like, I don't know, 38 or 40,000 or something like that. That's at 2.5-to-1. So 2.5 times of whatever I have should be something like that. Let's see if we can do the old calculator here. Well, yeah, 17,940 times 2.5. 44,000. There you go. We got a question here from Phil. Hey, Bona, did the Facebook caption contest ever end? Yes, it did, and somebody won, and nobody, I guess I sent an email or something, and I don't know, that app just did not work. So I don't know if the winner actually got it. I think it was the picture with the it was a picture with all the red stuff, and then the winner was the one about, God dog it, I forgot what it was now. Never mind. But there was a winner, and I posted several times saying, "Hey, I need your email address, or your wallet address," and never got anything back. So maybe if that's you, Phil, let me know. So yeah, a little tricky with the wallets, being able to transfer between wallets and kind of understanding that. Some of the things that I do is that, like right now in my trading, I have some cash here, and if the price went down, I would want to probably buy real BTC, actual Bitcoins. So what I would do is use my managed wallets, transfer that money over to the exchange wallet, and then go to the exchange and use that money to actually buy back real Bitcoins. Then I would have in my wallet so many Bitcoins, and then once again, I'd transfer it back over to my trading balance. That way it would be in, I could use it for trading in here for my tradable balance. Now here's some things you might be scared about. Your tradable balance. If that goes to zero, don't worry about it, because that just means that you've used up all that you can use up. So if my margin balance is, say, 17,000, my tradable balance, if I had no positions, would be 17,000. And then once I started laying on positions, this would lower down, lower down, lower down. It could go down to zero, and I'm fine. That doesn't affect this whole margin requirement. It just means that once this profit and loss starts to go down, that's when it starts. You have to pay attention to what that margin requirement is. It's not the tradable balance. So this tradable balance can actually show negative. It's not a big deal. That means the negative of the tradable balance is actually what's starting to get closer. It's kind of showing you in dollar value of you going down. So don't worry about that being zero. You're not going to get closed out because the tradable balance is zero. Just means that you're going to have less room. So if I had like a huge holding here of like 80 BTC or 70 some BTC, that'd pretty much be, I'd be tapped out. This tradable balance would be about zero, and you would notice that the base price is 564, which is where I sold out at, but the liquidation price might be like 480, 490. So that's kind of close. It's $80, $100, something like that. So if the price ever got to that point, yes, it would close me out. So it kind of makes that number get closer and closer if you use more and more of this money available. If you're just starting out, definitely learning leverage and margin trading. Don't put yourself in a position to where, yeah, you're at zero here and the price difference between these two prices is only a few bucks. You know, don't do that to yourself, because we all know how Bitcoin works. With just a second ago, actually, it stabbed down. Let's see, right here, it stabbed down a little bit. So it went from about 577 down to 559. So that was a good $17 drop right there. So just be careful with margin trade. Leave yourself some room. Don't trade all of your balance. Got another question here. Let's see. Hey, Bono, I believe I won the 4 votes. Awesome. Okay, so you were the winner. Nice. Let's see. I'm going to copy this here, buddy. Control C. Yeah, I'm going to save that. Cool, man. Appreciate you getting on, Phil. I will get that the BTC prize. I forgot how much it was. I will get that out to you. That comes from the Bonavest wallet from all your donations. Where's all my information here? Once again, I am looking for people to get on the mic with me. It is lonely on here by myself. Where's all my Bonavest stuff? It's been so long. I don't even know where all my stuff is at. There's a little QR code there. Feel free to send any donations that way. It always helps out. It makes me want to get back on the shows, putting them out on a regular basis. You can also find the QR code and the wallet address, so you can copy paste if you like on bonavest.com. You can check it out. I don't even know what the balance is in the Bonavest. I use blockchain for the Bonavest wallet. I haven't even logged in there in quite a while. Let's see. Here we are. Boom. We've got some of this money actually was from when I was taking in money for trading other people's money. So I haven't gotten this much BTC for, or I'm sorry, right here. I haven't gotten that much. I think it's at like at 0.7 or 0.6 in donations, which is still great, especially with the price going up. So thank you very much. I have sent out some of the money, returned some money to some people that gave it to me to trade, plus 10%. So yeah, Phil, I'll send you the money I owe you for winning the caption contest on the Facebook page at Bonavest Show on Facebook, and get that out to you, buddy. All right. So it looks like it's going to get boring here, and it's going to go sideways just as I start the show. It was getting all exciting right here this morning, and I was like, all right, it's doing great. I effing love this shit. See what happens when nobody else is on the mic? It starts getting stupid. Oh yeah, are you guys on tradingview.com? That's another good site. If you don't know, for those of you that are interested in charts and so forth, tradingview.com. It is free. Now I gotta sign in here. And I always forget what my login is. Oh, it worked the first time. Holy crap. Nice. Let's see. When you get into TradingView, once you log in, on the right-hand side, there's 2 little bubble windows there. That's the chat room. And I've already got mine set up for the Bitcoin room. And I'll scroll that up to get everything else out of the way. And yes, I am live streaming and showing all your pretty avatars. Say hi. Cool. Yeah, this one here, you don't have some charts that you can like actually manipulate and set up things, TradingView is the site to use. Has all the different identifiers, especially the lovely lunar phasing here. Beautiful. How nice is that? Has all kinds of different charting settings and so forth. Some of my favorite is the Ichimoku cloud. Yes, the wonderful Ichimoku cloud. You have to say it that way. It's just the way it is. You have to do it. Oh, where'd my chat window go? Oh. No. There we go. And we'll put this here so that they know where to go. All right, so yeah, as you see here, if you were watching the Ichimoku cloud, you'd see that we hit the cloud here and it had some support, and sure enough, it bounced right off of that and kept going up. So this is a 1 hour chart that we're looking at here. We had a bit of a crossover right here, so that's a good sign that we were going up. And even though it crosses over in the cloud, that's normally something to where it's not a very strong signal, but it is a signal. It's normally not a very strong one, but for me, if I saw this happening, I'd say, you know what, there's a lot of support right here. We've got a crossover there. You know, it's going up, you know. We're already on a long uptrend, you know, within the last few days. It's like, yeah, that would have been a good signal for me to say, you know what, go ahead and put on a long position right here and watch it go. Which I think I did. Yeah, I think it was like 531 or something like that is when I first got in. Cool, cool. Let's see, we got some more people chatting in the Bonavest chat room. Yes, ask questions. I am watching the Bonavest chat room. Can't read his name. Who is this? Miller? Miller41's got a question. So yes, please ask. I'm watching. I am on a bit of a delay, so when you hear my voice, it's actually probably delayed by about maybe 20-30 seconds. Because this is live streaming. Currently, what are we looking at? How many viewers we got? Still, all right, we're up to 53 viewers. Nice. Welcome. Let's see, we've got Hidden Sphinx. Can we send you Bitcoin so you can trade for us? As I mentioned a second ago, I've actually, months back decided to stop doing that, and I returned the Bitcoins that I had taken in from people, and have a spreadsheet of all the email addresses, but it kind of got screwed up with the wallet addresses because people sent me money from wallet addresses that actually go back to their trading accounts, not to an actual return wallet. So it's kind of a mess. And if you did send me money to trade, please send me another email at abel, A-B-E-L, @bonavest.com, and I will get you your Bitcoins back plus 10%. But no, I'm not into trying to trade other people's Bitcoins. It's too much of a hassle, and who knows the legal implications in the future, so said, nah. Plus, I was losing money. You don't want someone to lose money, right? I've been losing money recently. So, yeah, it was much better just to have the shows, show you what I'm doing. If you want to follow along, great. All right, Frank Garcia, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while because, well, I haven't had a show in a while. Good to see you, man. Let's see what else we got here. Let's jump back to the action. Still floating around at 68, 69. Normally speaking, this would tell me that going sideways a little bit like this without dropping any further would actually be a very positive thing to be going back the other direction. I'm sitting at negative 249 right now, and that's assuming that I was to buy back in, and I'd probably end up getting this price here at 569.4, which sounding kind of good. Yeah. So this is that key where if I hit close, it may not hit that, and it might go all the way back to here. So what I would do is probably just type in 569.4. So I would come down here, say how much. I'll say 40 at I'm buying back, so 569.4. And I go back and check, see if it's still there. I say margin buy, and we'll see where it goes. I think I got it. Thank you guys for not cutting me off there. Since I'm doing it live and say, oh, he's gonna buy, I'm gonna buy too, and then take it out for me. So yeah, I mean, you're trading. This is trading. So did I get a $269 loss? Yeah. Did I get a $550 profit a second ago? Yeah. So I mean, it just kind of equals out. I make mistakes. The best thing is just get some profit. Get some profit in. Right now I'm watching Wooby at the 5-minute. It's going up. So the next thing I'm looking for is how much into it am I going to get in. Sometimes I might actually flip-flop and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to jump on, I see it just blowing up, so I'm just going to dig all the way deep into this order book and buy up to like 573.5. I don't see that happening right now. Right now we're kind of it's going sideways. Wooby's starting to move up a little. You got to understand these numbers are like, it's 6 won to $1. So even if it moves up a good amount on this chart, it really doesn't mean too much here on the dollars. So it's one of those things where I might put in a buy order down here at the 569 and to be able to buy back in a little bit more. So like I'll use a smaller number like 15, and let's see, they got some at 569.75. So maybe I'll just jump in front of it and say 570. Margin buy. So I put in my order, put in my price, and I say margin buy. And what that's going to do is it tells me my order's there. It'll temporarily get put here waiting to see if it's going to close out. So now if I go back here, I should be able to see a 15 on the order book. There it is, 570, 15 BTC. Go back to Wooby here. It's kind of going up here. I'm waiting to see at this price point, see where we kind of rose up, we hit here, we kind of slumped back, now we're going back up. I want to see if we're going to bounce again off of that and go down, or whether we're going to go through it. These little ticks you hear in the back has people actually typing my name here in the chat, which is kind of good. Lets me know someone's saying something to me, but I know it might be a little annoying for those of you listening in. Let's see. Dan V's asking if I take a break from work. No, I'm actually still working. It's the weekend, and price action was good this morning, and been making some money. So I figured, I think I'll do a hangout. People have been asking me about margin trading and stuff like that, so I figured I'd touch a little bit on how to do that on Bitfinex. Now Flipper saying, now you can lose money faster with leverage. Yes, leverage is a very dangerous thing. Margin trading. When you hear people talk about margin trading and leverage, a lot of times people talk about it as if it's one thing. That margin trading and leverage is the kind of a together thing, and that, oh, it's bad, you're going to lose money quickly, and if you're not careful, and this and that. Actually, leverage is the bad thing. Leverage is the thing you could really hurt yourself if you don't do it right. Margin trading isn't so bad. Margin trading is just saying that even though I have cash here or I have coins here, I can actually put on positions to buy or sell Bitcoins using whatever my assets are. So it's not really like, you're not necessarily going to accelerate your losses or your profits just using margin trading. You're just doing one-to-one leverage. So in that selection that we had earlier, we said Bonavest, account settings, and at the bottom it says leverage. You're going to start off with just one-to-one leverage, meaning if you got $5,000 in your account, you can only trade by shorting or by going long up to $5,000. So that's not going to accelerate your losses. It's not going to hurt you any more or less than what you are. If you lose money, you lose money. If you win money, you win money. It's one-to-one. It's only when you get the higher leverages, 2-to-1 or 2.5-to-1, that's when it's like, okay, if you purchased at a certain price and it goes $10 away out of your position, if it's 2-to-1, now you lost $20 worth. So your trading balance, if it's in coins or if it's in dollars, just lost $20 in value instead of 10. Even though the price only moved 10, you have 2-to-1 leverage and you took on double the amount of Bitcoins that you have possible. So just be careful with leverage. Margin trading is not so bad, but when you use the more than one-to-one leverage, that's when it gets a little more difficult. You got to pay attention. Got some more talk there in TradingView. Cool. Good to see. Everyone's kind of happy that I'm back, and I'm kind of happy to be back. Good to see you guys. Hang out with you guys. If you got a microphone and you want to be on the show, let me know. Let's see, we've got this chat back here. Let's see if Miller has his question here. Let's see, a thought on altcoins, specifically dark coin, which some people think could potentially catch up to LTC. So I'll tell you what, altcoins, I am swearing off of altcoins for right now. I am trying to get my money back. I mentioned earlier here in this show that at one point I only had, or at one point I have purchased like 52, 54 BTC with my cash money. I have purchased that amount of BTC. At one point, I was down to 23 Bitcoins after 2 big mistakes. So I was down to less than half of my value of assets. Very bad. Even now, obviously, looking at my Bitfinex sheet here, I've only got 31 BTC. I should have about 52, 54 BTC right now. That's how much money I put in to buy Bitcoins, is 52. If I would have just bought them, not touched them, today I would have 52. So yes, after 2 big mistakes that I've made within the last, I guess, month and a half or so, it was a little while back, yeah, it was like, dude, I was less than half. Not good times, not fun. One of those things is just, you got to keep going. So I was at 24 BTC. After the last couple of days, I'm up to 31 BTC. So I'm slowly trying to get back. The actual price of where I was buying in at those 50 BTC, so if I wanted to kind of mark if I was able to get back to where I was last at, I would have to have 52, 54 Bitcoins at a price of about 641. Personally, I don't think I'm going to get there unless we get a lot of up and down before we hit 641. If there's a lot of just straight up, I probably won't get to where I have 50 some BTC. If there's a lot of up and then some big downs and corrections, it could be possible. But right now, I'd be happy just to have about 40, 45 BTC at 641. So I got a ways to go. I still got to earn myself another 10 BTC. All right, checking out the old hangout here. We now have 58 viewers. Thanks for tuning in. We got some questions coming in, so let's take a look at those. Let's go back to we'll watch this. Oh, I don't even have any coins, do I? I was trying to get them at 570. We're currently at 573. What's Wooby doing? Wooby's still going up, so I may just go ahead and buy into here. That's at 573. $40 at 573. Should grab some out of a little bit out of this 11, and then right there. There we are, 40, 573. Now, remember I was saying earlier, we had this down early in the morning, 5 in the morning. Kind of went sideways. Right here we were going up. That was good times. I didn't sell out, so I didn't capture it till about somewhere here. So instead of about 800-900 profit, I only got about 550 profit. You can also see that right now my cash is only 20 bucks after paying the fees and everything to get this position. So really, my morning $900 just kind of like didn't happen. So yeah, that's what that means. So what I've done now is we're chiming in again, and earlier I was saying that on Wooby, at this up point before we slid down a little bit, I was looking to see us pass this point of 35.60, because if we passed it, that means we probably aren't going to bounce off of it, come back down. So that's why I went ahead and just now bought another 40. So at this point, I'm in a positive 40 at the price of 572.9. And currently with my fees and things like that, even though we're over, the current price is over my base price, it incorporates all the little fees and all that kind of stuff. So right now I'm negative 100. Once you see this go about 2%, that'd be about like $2.50. Then you'll start seeing that, yeah, it'll be in the profit, in the black, or in the green in this case. So it gets to these questions here. Hidden Sphinx, can you show us an example of taking a long position? Well, I just did. So yeah, essentially a long position, what you want to do is type in the amount of BTC you want to buy. So let's say I wanted to buy 5, And then you want to go, and this is the hard part about Bitfinex. It looks very screwy. It makes you worry about hitting the enter button because you don't know what it's entering, because there's numbers here and there's numbers there. So what I typically do is I'll type in the number there. I'll type in my price of what I want to buy in at, and then I hit the button margin buy. And then it's going to place a line right here with a cancel and a notify. The notify, I think, is just an email. So yeah, you'll receive an email when this order executes. So I'm going to turn that back off because I really don't. Actually, I need to cancel that. Well, I don't know. We're coming down now. I might actually grab it. Let's see what we got here. Tell you what, I'm going to leave that there at 570 for 15. Might be able to pick up a little bit cheaper Bitcoins here by a couple of bucks. I guess I can't turn off the will notify, so oh well. So if you want to get an email reminder, you're at work or something, you have orders placed out there and you want to know when they execute, there's your way to do it. You can also hit the cancel and it'll remove it out. If you've got several orders and you want to get rid of all of them quickly, just keep clicking right here on the first line, because as you cancel one, the next one moves up and your click will hit that one. So just keep your mouse over the very top one and you can just hit cancel, 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 and just hit them. So that's a quick way. Or right there is a big button that says cancel all. So hopefully that helped you out, Sphinx. And I forgot to select that question, so if you want to know about an example of a long position, you might want to scroll back about 5-10 minutes. All right, Ben. Let's see. I haven't seen this name before. Would you rather fight 1,000 Doge? Would you rather fight 1,000 Dogecoin-sized Bitcoins or 1 Bitcoin-sized Dogecoin? Ben is very. I know you're a thinker. I can tell. Would you rather fight 1,000 Dogecoin-sized Bitcoins or 1 Bitcoin-sized Dogecoin? I don't know. I think the Bitcoin-sized Dogecoin would have a lot of bite to it. So yeah, I don't think I want to run into a Bitcoin-sized Dogecoin. So I'll go with the 1,000 Dogecoins. You can kick those guys around. All right, hey Bona, I believe I won. Oh yeah, that was Phil. I already got you there. I'm leaving it there just in case. Let's see, Al, can you place stop losses on Bitfinex? I believe you can. I have not done that because personally, we've talked about this in many shows before. When people that are coming from stocks and mutual funds and maybe just doing research online and they're getting into trading and they hear stop losses, use stop losses. And I think a lot of the traders that deal with Bitcoin tend to say, no, they don't use stop losses. And the reason why is you tend to get tapped out of positions prematurely, because in Bitcoin there's a lot of drops that just come out of nowhere. So like in this case here, this is a 5-minute, or I'm sorry, this is a 15-minute chart. Let's go to a 5-minute. You'll still be able to see that drop. So in 5 minutes, this one candle went from 575 down to about 559. So that's a good chunk. That's 25 bucks. If you had a stop loss here, you would get tapped out, and then you would miss out on the fact that it either returned up to here. You could get out of the position if you wanted to, or like I think you will find that if you just wait long enough, this is going to be back up into the 580s, 590s, whether it's tonight or whether it's by tomorrow morning. I believe we're still going up. I don't think we're going to be seeing a huge correction just yet. I'll defer to some of these guys in the TradingView chat room. They usually have a lot of opinions on where we're headed and so forth, so you can check in there at tradingview.com. See, we already got some talk in there about stop losses and so forth. Zoinky is, I guess, a believer in stop losses to help limit or balance your risk versus reward. A lot of times, like let's say you entered a position way down here at 538. As you move up, you would put in a stop loss, and this is how you do it on Bitfinex. You just click here, order type, and you can put in a limit order where you name your price, a market order where it just executes and just buys into the order book. You can put in a stop, a trailing stop, and fill or kill. There are some instructions about this, a little bit of mentions about it, not great information. I wish I was brave enough to actually take the time to use all this, even with like a small amount of Bitcoins just to try it out. But I know with the trailing stop, when you hit trailing stop here, Uh, okay, I thought I had tried this before. What did I try before? Oh, I was trying this, the OCO, open, uh, crap. Let's click on it and read it. What is the OCO order option? One cancels the other order. And I couldn't even get this to work. I did try it. So this supposedly what it is to where you can open up a pair of orders, and you say, you know, if it goes above you have like a limit order for up high to sell, or you got a price down low that you want to buy, and you put two of those in. So you're saying, okay, the price is going sideways here. If it goes up, I want to be able to buy. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. If it goes up, I want it to buy, but if it goes down, I want to sell. So you put both of those orders in, and it just waits till one of them hits. And when one of them hits, then it cancels out the other one and takes the one that it hit. So that was very useful. I wasn't able to get it to work. I didn't quite understand it. I wish these guys would like document this stuff better. But yeah, essentially you would be saying OCO order, and you would have to type in like, here's my limit price, and then it says OCO stop price. The problem is that doesn't make sense. Why would I have that's a stop, you know, stop price. So I don't quite get it. You know, I would see it as you put in a buy and you put in a sell, and you say whichever one hits, close out the other one. So yeah, I didn't quite understand it. I couldn't get it to work. Yes, the functionality is there. It says trailing stop, which is a lot better than just a regular stop. If you do a regular stop, it'll just, you pick a price and you say if it goes below this price, like if you're going up this green candle trail up here and you stick a price in at 574, when it passes 574, it gets you out. A trailing stop means if it kept going up and you set a trailing stop, usually you can tell it $10. So as the price moved up $10, your trailing stop, the stop price from 575 would move up $10. So you're always going to be limiting your risk of losing about $10, and then it would, you know, cut you out. So trailing stops are great. It's just sometimes it'll get you out of positions that you don't want to get out of. Like if you have it trailing behind you, like right here, this is 569, maybe you're up to 577, that's a good $10 spread. It would tap you out before it kept going up to 586. So yeah, trailing stop or stops and trailing stop losses and stuff is like, I don't know, I don't use them. I just don't. Got 58 viewers. Thanks for tuning in. We're getting close to 60. There you go. So Wonky Tonky is saying that he did some back testing on stop loss and trailing stops, and it's really bad. EMAs are much better. And I don't know what the numbers that he used. I don't know how much money he was, you know, giving himself room to you know, stop himself out and so forth. But like I said, there's a lot of just little pullbacks in Bitcoin, and then the momentum continues in the same direction. So a lot of times I see where it would get me out of positions that I wanted to stay in. And again, I didn't select the question before explaining it. So if you want to learn about stop losses, rewind about 10 minutes. All right, so Al is saying he was asking the question about stop losses, and he says, I like the peace of mind of stop losses if I have to leave the screen in a hurry. Dude, if you're worried about it dropping out like that, you're in the wrong position. You should not be worried about stepping away from the computer for 5 minutes or something like that, or 30 minutes even. If you're picking a position in Bitcoin, I think that, you know, even with price action has been now, you should already kind of know, either be to the point where you're putting limit orders ahead of time so you know where you want to get out, or just say, hey, I'm in it to win it, and I'm just going to keep my position because I know where it's headed. Yeah, I mean, if it makes you feel good, Al, great. I think there's going to be more people that are siding on the point of view that stop losses would tend to get you taken out when you don't want to. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat rooms, TradingView, chat.bonavest.com, or yeah, don't put it in the Google Plus. That's more for questions. All right, we got past 60 viewers. We're now up to 61. Sounds good. By the way, I do tweet quite a bit, even during the daytime at work, different positions I take and stuff like that. So if you use Twitter, you can follow me at twitter.com/Bonavest. I usually find time to throw out a tweet now and again if I put any trades on or price action and so forth. What else we got going on here? Am I making money yet? I haven't even looked. Nope. I'm at 572.9 and current price is at 572. One of the other things that's kind of good, if you're not a big trader, you don't want to be kind of like always constantly feeling like you don't watch the screen. I say we're in an uptrend at this point. So I'm feeling a little bit better about the fact that I know what the main trend is. Here, the main trend was down. Over here, the main trend was up. I'm better, I know mentally, I'm better at trading when I think it's going up. I lose a lot of money when it's going down because I tend to think, oh, but it's about to go up. So it's kind of like, yeah, I feel much better. I think I trade better in knowing when to sell and when to get back in when we're going up than I do when we're going down. I think it's a mentality thing that you got to train yourself that know what the general trend is. And over here, the general trend was down. So whenever you see it go up, you want to pick a point to where you want to sell. It goes short if you're margin trading. When you see it go down and just bottom out quickly, that might be a case of where you want to buy back in just for a short term, get some profit, get back out. The reverse is true when we're in an uptrend. And right now I think we're on a reversal trend that, yes, this is the beginning of the great return to all-time highs and so forth. This is just the beginning. We will see some ups and downs along the way, but I think this was a good turn. I mean, we've bypassed the last high. We've made a new high. This is big momentum, big news. So yes, I think the overall trend at this point is up. So now whenever we jump up really fast, I tend to want to short a little bit for a few bucks. And if we go down, I typically want to buy back in. If we go down $10, $20, I tend to want to buy some more at that price, just because I feel like it's going to go up at some point. We're in an uptrend. The only thing that does hinder me a little bit when you're doing margin trading is that you pay for that money. So this money that right now I'm holding on to, this 40 BTC, I don't have 40 BTC worth of value, so some of this I'm borrowing. So what you want to do is, this is good too if you want to mark the timestamp here, this is called, we're going to talk about the swap cost for margin trading on Bitfinex. So if you hit total return swaps, one of the options here is swaps used in a margin position. So right now the total is $22,000 is what I'm using. And here it gives a line by line of the percentages per day. This is the percent per day that I pay to hold that position open. Now that kind of sucks because I do have a good majority of that money to be used. But to use this coins here, I have to put it in my exchange wallet and actually, I'm sorry, I don't because I'm buying. I apologize. If I had dollars to buy 40 BTC, and let's say 30 BTC, I'd rather use that money to buy, but I don't. So therefore, I have to borrow all the money and I have to pay this interest, which is what they call swap cost. So here's all the individual percentages, the amounts, when they expire. Some of them expire in a day. Some of them expire, like this one here is probably like 30 days, is June 24th. So this $9,000 that I'm borrowing at a really high rate of interest lasts for 30 days. Now you may say, well, that's a high piece of interest. Why would you want to hold it for 30 days? Well, that's because it's 0.5 for 30 days as opposed to these here that only last for like, well, actually these are all, this one right here, May 27th. So that one's 2 days. And once those 2 days expire, I need $15. It's going to go and get another one. And maybe at that point in time, 2 days from now, the rate is like 1 point something. Well, this one's locked in for 0.5 for 30 days. So that's an okay thing. It's a good thing. This all happens automatically. You shouldn't have to worry about it. If you have extra money that you're not using, it's not being taken up in your tradable balance, you can actually be really cool and get rid of the expensive ones. And like this one's kind of expensive and it's only for 2 days. I could quote get rid of that one and try to find me a cheaper one or something. I don't get that perfect into it. I try to put it on my trades when I know I'm going to be making some money at least within the next 24 hours. That way I don't worry too much about what my costs are. This unrealized swap cost is going to tell you how much you're already having to pay for your swap cost, and it gets updated every hour. So I tweeted a little earlier that I was paying like $7 an hour, but that's because at that time I had the whole 78, 79 BTC, and yeah, every hour that would go up about $7, or actually it would show a negative of $7. Once again, another quick shout out. If you got a microphone and you want to be on the show, please let me know somewhere, whether you tweet it or in a chat room, and I will give you the link and get you on here. It is way more exciting when there's more than just me talking. Makes it feel weird when I'm sitting in the room by myself, staring at the screens, talking to myself. There's some people talking about the altcoins. I was mentioning earlier, I'm staying away from them. I need to concentrate on getting my Bitcoin. They were saying to look at the Litecoin charts. Here's Litecoin to USD. Let's look at it on like the hourly. I don't know. That looks scary to me. I'm not big on the altcoins anymore. I mean, right now I want to concentrate on the Bitcoins. I understand it. It's making lots of moves. It's going up. I just want to capitalize on that. I was big into the altcoins a while back, but realized very quickly that if you don't pay attention to it, you don't stay on it, and you start buying like multiple altcoins, it's hard to keep track of. You won't stay on top of it, and you're gonna lose all your coins. Don't do that. You're gonna lose all your coins. So I'm sticking with Bitcoin for right now. I'm more confident in where it's going and what it's doing, so that's where I'm going to put my money. So when we're in a good uptrend, you'll see a lot of this kind of porpoising, where you go up and down, and you just want to kind of look to see if you're making lower lows, higher highs, whatever it is, to determine which direction it's going. So right now we're making slightly higher highs, so that's good. You definitely wouldn't want to see this go lower than where we were last at about, let's see, let's go to the dollars here. So we went up, went down, we're going up. You wouldn't expect to see it go below 565. I don't think it will. I think based on the way this is working out, Wooby might take a little bit of a dip, but not go any lower, maybe halfway, like where we're at right now, like 35.40, and it'll start to go up again, and in which case in this case Bitfinex will continue to just kind of gradually go up and follow it. So that's what I'm expecting to see here in the near term. And as you see, my profit and loss is getting smaller and smaller of my loss, so that's a good thing. And we do now see the first addition of the swap cost, which is $3.32. And like I said, that'll update every hour. Yeah, a little bit of a bummer this morning. Got up to $900 profit, and after selling out and putting on a short and then having to jump out of that one or whatever, pretty much back to $20 extra. So not a great thing, but just got to move on, keep trading. So Nighthawk is giving some advice here. It says just short LTC Litecoin when it spikes up, then set a close for a point in your own technical analysis. Easy couple of bucks. Yeah. It's hard always saying it's easy, it's easy. So one of the things that I did make here in TradingView, one of the cool things about TradingView is if you make a chart, you can actually share it with people. And what I am going to do is I'm going to try to find that chart. Let's see, load. And let's see what it does. Coin percent comparison. My coin percent comparison chart. I made this chart to take a look at the price differences and increase and decreasing price differences for the various altcoins. So in this case, we were talking. This guy here, was it Nighthawk, was saying about Litecoin. And let's see. Let's show Litecoin, BTC. and Litecoin dollar, and hide everything else. Did I get that right? No. Dude, why was that so off? There we go. I got it backwards. Damn it. You would think that the bright letters would mean that if they're on, and the dark letters would mean they're off. All right, so there's 3 lines that you're seeing here, and the cyan or cyan color right here, cyan color, blue, is Bitcoin price, and that's on COD? No, that's on BTCE. This is BTCE's price for Bitcoin to the dollar, and the green one is Litecoin to dollar, and just for reference, the red one is Litecoin to Bitcoin. So what we're seeing here is, and as of recently, as we looked at this chart here for Litecoin to USD, we saw that this is a 5-minute chart. We saw this drop right here down to 10.55. It went from 11.40 to 10.55, so it was about a $1 drop right there. If we go to our little coin percent chart, when was that? That was about 9 this morning. So we'll go here to about 9 this morning, and there it is right here, this green drop right here. So if you look at the difference between the Bitcoin price and the Litecoin price, you'll see that the Litecoin price right now is priced, undervalued. So like right here, you saw a crossover. If we scroll out a little bit, you'll see that Litecoin was above the Bitcoin price, and at some point it catches up and they kind of walk with each other. And then at some point they tend to deviate. Bitcoin started to take off. This is around 5 in the morning, and you'll see that here, 5 in the morning. Where are we at? Yep, it's about right here. Bitcoin started to go up from the drop that it had, and so you get a little bit of a deviation again, where Bitcoin is up, Litecoin's going down. Got really down. Kind of going along with what Nighthawk's saying. If you look for these differences, this might be a great time to buy. If you can buy in anywhere here, if you can buy in right here. This is at 11.45. So 11.45 is probably this dip right here. 10, this is 11, 11.30. It's about right here, 11.30. So it's like that might be a good time to buy in knowing that the difference in price, there's a deviation, that at some point they should match. Now, whether that means Bitcoin goes down or Litecoin goes up, you have to then use your analysis to think, well, which is it going to happen? Me personally, I think Bitcoin is going up. It's not going to be doing this big correction anytime soon. So I think the actual action that you'll see is that Litecoin is going to jump up. So maybe this is a good time to buy some Litecoin right now. Like you said, easy. It's an easy couple of bucks. It's so easy. All right, so Nighthawk, what do you think we should do right now with Litecoin?
Buy, buy, buy!
Yes, that would be, I guess, your mode of thinking right now is to buy. All in all, I think coins are going in the right direction, and we are seeing a bull market. And I am Bona Bully, bringing it to you live. Unfortunately, my trade is just sitting there. So I think I'm just going to hold on to that position. I'm not like using up all of my funds. Here's another thing that has saved me with margin trading. I don't take on huge positions using up all of my capital, all my trading balance down to zero, unless I know that, hey, I'm already in the money and it's continuing to go forward. It's just now getting momentum. Then I might, totally buy in. If I'm unsure, what I'll do is I'll do like this. This is about half of what I can possibly take on, 40. And if it was to go down, what I would do is wait for it to go down to where I feel like, okay, we're towards the bottom. And I did that here because I think I bought some at like 570 something, maybe 572. I was about at 572 right here where this white line's at. And when it fell down, I had about another 20 BTC that I could buy or trade. And so what I ended up doing was I waited till it was about 560. Actually, it was down to the very bottom. I think it's 560. And I bought in 20, and then that's what it averaged out earlier when you saw that my average buy-in was like 561 something or 562. Is that way, if I'm able to buy in lower, it averages out the cost basis. So that's this base price, the cost base. So if it said 572 now, 572.9, and then it dropped down to 550, and I bought another 40 at 550, my actual cost basis would be right in the middle because I have 40 at this price and I'd have 40 at 550. So that would bring it to about 60? What am I doing? 60? Yeah, around 561, something like that. So that kind of halves the cost basis. And then if I wanted to, if it bounced back up to 560 range and I thought it was going to continue to crash down, I could sell out there and I wouldn't be at a loss. You know, I could get myself out of the position. So that's one of the reasons why you want to leave some money on the table here so that you can possibly put it in later if it goes against you, and maybe get your cost basis down to ride it out. For those of you interested in helping out, see if we can get some more shows going on, I will gladly accept any Satoshi donation that you feel you want to throw my way. We got 62 viewers right now. We've been live for, oh, I thought, where'd the counter go? Google's always changing things. I used to have a little counter of how long we've been streaming. I think we've been streaming for like an hour, hour and 15. I think we started this at 11, so about hour 10. See, Tina Marie Martinez. Haha, Tina Marie. Oh, Tina Marie. Me and her went out a couple of times. Awesome person, smart lady, does some stock trading. She was interested in Bitcoin. I said, you know what? I'm going to be doing a live stream here in a few minutes. If you're at a computer and you want to check it out. So Tina Marie, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. She's got a little question here. It's like, I'm a little tardy to the party, but made it. To get the beginning of this, you will put on YouTube. Yeah, this should be live streaming now, and you can actually, you know, click back if you wanted to and start from the beginning, but or you could just continue watching here live or what have you. So yeah, it's live stream. What you're seeing now is about a 30-second delay, and then if you want to, you can always scroll back to the beginning or save it for later, and it's on YouTube. So watch it anytime. Share it with your friends. Tell your neighbors. Spread the good word. The Bitcoin Bible. They should put that in hotels. The Book of Mormon thing is getting way played out. How did they do that anyway? They locked that in. I mean, those guys really like locked that in. You can't get a Christian Bible in a hotel. You get the Book of Mormon. I don't know how they did that. And I bet you they get really good discounts on bikes. I'm just saying. If you know a Mormon, you know, ask him for you know, say, hey man, get a little discount, dude. Come on. I need a Huffy. So of course when I start the show, that's when things don't get exciting. It's usually how it works, which is kind of good because then I actually have time to talk and not pay attention to what's actually going on. Everyone's always happy to have the show back, and just want to let you know, yeah, I mean, when I have time, I don't mind streaming. It's just one of those time things of weighing, you know, do I have time to sit there and set it all up and send out invites and put it on the website? Sometimes it becomes like another job. By the way, my job's doing pretty good. Recently got out of the cubicles and into my own office. I guess they realized I was a true badass. But yeah, things are okay now. They're getting better there at work and moving on, doing more responsibility, using technology to make everyone's life better. And for those of you that do anything in an office area and one of your coworkers uses Excel a little too much, you need to just weed them off of that. Tell them, look, some things just belong in a database. Stop using Excel. Stop. Stop. Place where I work at now has an Excel sheet for just about everything. And in some cases, there's one spreadsheet that does everything, which is also bad. Friends, don't let friends overuse Excel. Just saying. What are the questions we've got in the Google Plus interface? You can ask questions in there. You can also tweet me at twitter.com/Bonavest. And if you have a mic, feel free to let me know and join the show. Make it a little bit more interesting. We got about another 45 minutes to go here, and then I'll probably be signing off. Pretty much talked about already the Bitfinex interface and how using the margin trading and even leverage a little bit. I don't really like using the charts here. If you happen to be looking here for like your bids and asks and seeing where you should be placing your orders, I don't like using it because these seem to be really delayed. I tend to flip back between Bitcoin Wisdom and watch this chart. This chart seems to be a lot quicker, a lot snappier. So I usually watch this, then I'll go back to Bitfinex and place my order. And then before I hit the button, I'll look back one more time and then click back and hit the button, buy or sell. I don't use these charts down here. They're just too delayed. A lot of times you'll be putting in orders here. You'll hit the buttons. It'll usually pop in your order here, but when orders execute, the orders tend to go away, and it takes a while to update this. And I say take a while, like 10 seconds or something. Which when you're trying to figure out, okay, well, did it do it, and how much is the price that I got, blah, 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 10 seconds is a long time. So usually what I'll end up doing is hitting those buttons to buy or sell, and then I'll go back to Bitcoin Wisdom and watch to see the transaction pop in, and then I know I got it or not. Also know that if you're trying to do things quickly, if you happen to set a limit order that is currently outside the current price, so if you're buying above the current price or you're selling below the current price, there's going to be an additional pop-up that'll, I think, be on my Chrome browser. It's in the top center that you have to hit OK before it actually places your order. And that'll kind of gum you up if you hit the button and you quickly go to the other tab and you don't pay attention to the fact that it popped a pop-up saying, are you sure you want to do this? So just wait for that. If you're into putting limit orders outside the current price, meaning you're wanting to buy into the order book, it's going to probably pop up with a little window there if it's deep into the order book there. So just know that's one extra step you got to do before your order gets processed. Let's see, Tina Marie wants to know my Twitter address again. The Twitter address is Bonavest, B-O-N-A-V-E-S-T. All right, now I see a little green candle. That's always good to see. Yay, green. I like green. And once again, here's that porpoising we were talking about. It kind of completed the cycle a lot sooner than I thought. When it took that dip down, I was saying, yeah, I think that's probably 35.40 is probably where that low point is going to be. So now what I want to see is for it to rebound above and make a new high. So that's going to have to go above 35.70. Now with the volume right now, this is a 5-minute chart, so these numbers are kind of low. But with the volume that we're getting and the amount of price action here, it's not very much. I'd like to see longer candles here, and I'd like to see the numbers be more like right here at like 400 Bitcoins being traded. These are actually like around 150, or in this case, we just started this 5-minute candle and it's got 11. So want to see more volume and hopefully surpass the 35.70 so that it'll show that, hey, we're going to be continuing to move up even further. One of the cool things in TradingView, you can actually put in charts. So if you're watching this chart here, you can actually click this little camera thing here, and it adds a picture of whatever chart you're looking at. So in this case, Nighthawk here says Western exchanges seem to want down, and you'll see this little chart there. And if you click it, you can actually see whatever chart he's looking at. So he's got this chart, and this is very typical of TradingView traders. They will have charts that if you're not accustomed to knowing what all this stuff means, you will be left guessing, going, I don't know what this means. But I'm going to put my guess that he, based on what he was commenting on, saying that he figures Western markets went down. We're looking at Bitstamp, and it looks like he's saying that this next leg is aimed down, so that we're doing this porpoise effect and going down. This kind of ties into what I was saying. Is like we want to be able to see a new high. So it could bounce off of this 575, 576, or it could surpass that. So like right now, you know, I'm in at 572, 573. So really, there's not a whole lot of room. It's pretty much, you know, if I sold out at 575, I'm pretty much going to break even, and not a great trade. Personally, I think right now at this point, we can continue to see some up action. So I'm just going to kind of wait it out and see where we go. No risk, no reward. Of course, with all this upward movement, the overhanging thought is, when do we pull back? When do we see something going back down? And by down, meaning like $30, $40 down, even if it rebounds right back up. It's a growing concern as we continue to go. But here's the thing: those of you that weren't involved with Bitcoin in April of last year or November of last year, you would have this apprehension that, well, it can't keep going up. It can't just keep going up. Things don't do that. Stocks don't do that. Stuff doesn't do that. It doesn't just keep going up. Can't do that. Well, Bitcoin can for quite a while. So if we scroll back here, unfortunately on Bitcoin Wisdom we can't get back to April, but we can sure see this. This is a daily chart. So this is per day. This is, even if we started about right here, that's 1 day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7 days of up green candles. And then it took a little bit of a pullback. This is kind of what I'm wondering, what are we going to have? This is 7, 8 days worth of up before a down. And then after that, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a red candle, but it really didn't go anywhere. So I'm going to count that. 5, 6, 7, 8. We had 8 days of up before this was a Senate hearing. So don't worry about this chart. A lot of times people get concentrated on the chart and don't think about, well, what happened that day? What was going on that caused this outside of just chart formations? So this pullback was because this day was over some Senate hearings, and so everybody got really excited. And if you look at it, this was an increase from 500 all the way up to like 770. So that's like $271 within a 24-hour period. Freaking amazing. But everyone got so excited for the Senate hearings. Everything was good. And then, of course, the reality set in, and a bunch of people said, that's a lot of money. I'm going to take it off the table, and started to sell. Of course, once again, it did a pullback, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, a little bit of a pullback, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So you got 4 days and 5 days of just up. Even if you didn't worry about that, count that in. That would be 10 days of just up. If you just bought somewhere here, then you just held on to it for 10 days, you'd be right back up here. So it's one of those things where, yeah, Bitcoin actually can just go up for a while. It's possible. It's done it before. I'm sure it'll do it again. It's just a matter of, you know, when, and when are you comfortable taking some money off. Okay, and Strongheart is saying that the leverage default when you start your account is 2.5 to 1. I didn't see that, but check it, because you definitely don't want to be trading leverage. And you know, when you type in your numbers, you should know your numbers. So if you have 30 BTC in your little account, you should know that you're trading more than 1-to-1 leverage if you're able to buy or sell, or meaning short or go long with more than 30 BTC. If you're able to do that, you should already know, oh, wait a second, I must be trading for more than 1-to-1 leverage. But check it out. I don't think the default is 2.5 to 1. Strongheart saying it is, so be sure you check it. On this main screen, it has it right there at the bottom, so you should be able to easily verify what leverage you're at. And don't worry about if the leverage is 10 to 1. Long as you don't trade 10 times what you have, you're not actually using the 10 to 1 leverage. So even if that does default to 2.5 to 1, just know that if I only have 31 BTC, that I don't want to be buying or shorting or going long with more than 31 BTC. So that way, if I lose all of it, I just lose all of my actual BTC. I don't actually lose anything more than that, or I don't use anything exponentially more. Know your numbers. Know your numbers. Let's crank this down to a 15-minute chart just to take a look here. Yeah, if you guys have never used this signal, I know I haven't before Bitcoin trading days. The Ichimoku cloud is definitely something to take a look at. I know it's helped me kind of gauge when we were going to probably bounce or go bounce or rebound or what have you. So yeah, definitely take a look at what the Ichimoku cloud is all about and figure out how to make that work for you. We're rolling up on 12:30 right now, Central Standard Time. Got another 30 minutes to this hangout, unless, of course, we get some more guests and it gets a little more livelier. Oh, this isn't good. I got disconnected from my own chat and I didn't even know it. See, how many viewers do we have right now? Let's see. We've got, oh, we got 54 viewers right now. I lied. It's good advertising, though. Let's see. How do I PM? I don't think I even have ever PM'd somebody. How do you do that? I don't know how to PM somebody. I guess here. Send message. There we go. Let's see. I think this is the link. Oh, someone's got it done. See, I think that happened. I think that did it. There we go. Hangout pumps. So once again, I've traded up my, changed up my trading style a little bit. I've been using the 5-minute charts. In the past, I was always on the 15-minute and the 1 hour, and that served me well when we were going down. At this point, I've been using, with my margin trading, I've been using the 5-minute to kind of just keep track on price action. But once I'm in a trade, I'm usually just kind of like waiting it out. I've already got an idea about how high up it could go, or it's going to go so high that I just don't even worry about it, and I just hold on to the position. So. I'm just going to paste in TradingView the link. If you've got a mic and want to talk, just click there. Looks like we got a couple people interested in getting on the mic, so there it is in TradingView. Hey, what's going on, Dan V? Got it going on here. Is that Philip or is that Dan? Got it going on. Yourself in the top center of the screen. Okay, it might have been, must have been Philip. So Dan, are you with us now?
Hi there.
Hey, how you doing?
Haven't seen you for a while. Where have you been?
Been working. I have a regular job.
So, because you were saying last time you took time off work to try out this Bitcoin before you go back again.
Yep. So I was
Okay.
trading for about 2.5 months. Used my Bitcoin profits to take a 2.5 month vacation, and
Okay.
so I was going to be trading and making even more money. However, during that time period, that's when Bitcoin pretty much took a dump.
Okay.
So it was a little hard to do anything at that point. So then I decided to move, and a couple more failures ensued. And so here we are today, looking for a rebound.
Right. So hopefully you weren't affected, great deal by the saga of MGOX.
Oh no! Unfortunately for me, yeah, I was not affected by Mt. Gox. I hadn't at the point that whole Mt. Gox stuff started to happen, where things were locked out and you couldn't transfer your money out or your coins out. I was already done with Gox. I hadn't traded on there for probably about 4 or 5 weeks before that.
Okay. I see. That's great, because I think there are many who have suffered heavy losses because of that.
Yeah, or complete losses in some cases.
Yeah.
I
I,
did
I was away when that price was collapsing, and I was shocked when I came back and suddenly found price on MGOX had dropped down to about 100 and stopped altogether.
Oh yeah, exactly. And then it just got no more updates. It just stayed at 116 or 106 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Andre, I don't know if I said that right.
Hi, Bonavest. Hi, Dan.
Hi.
You're scaring me, dude, because you've got the Oracle on your picture of your avatar. I don't know if this is
I
gonna
know.
be his name or
I know, yeah.
it's gonna be right as rain. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks.
Are we going up or down?
Up.
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 I'm with you.
Yeah, might. I'm watching OKCoin mostly at the moment, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're watching that.
In case you guys don't know, OKCoin is a China market, right? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And you can trade
And
with other exchanges. I mean, just because they're in China or whatever, some people seem to think that that's only for the Chinese. You can't do it. It's like, well, some of the sites are in English. Some of the sites you can easily translate on Google, and yeah, they don't care where your bitcoins come from or whatever. You can open up an account as long as you got an email address.
well, OKCoin are advertising themselves as an international exchange, and OKCoin and Huobi have both got English translations. And I set up an OKCoin account, no problem.
Awesome. I mean, dude, who can not love trading on Woobi right now because Woobi is like freaking mad crazy volume. I mean, you could be trading like
Yeah.
thousands of dollars every moment, and the volume is there to eat it up.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is with OKCoin at the moment is the order book is so thin that literally like 200 coins, like a 20 coin bid on OKCoin can be like a wall, and that will drive OKCoin up. And then Huobi will, so you're spending like say $100,000 to pump OKCoin. Huobi is spending 200, $300,000 to join OKCoin, and Bitfinex and Bitstamp are spending like $2-3 million to join OKCoin. And so it's like everybody's just following this OKCoin with like hardly any coins on the order book.
Exactly. Nice.
But yeah, OKCoin at the moment, it's just got this kind of like it's difficult because it's kind of at this kind of like level where it wants to bounce back down. It does want to bounce back down. You can see volumes really died off on the last little rise. But at the same time, it's also got this ascending triangle thing going on. This little upwards continuation movement. So that's why it's just kind of really slowed down, really. So
Yeah, yeah, we have been going a little bit not a whole lot recently as far as this morning goes.
yeah, I'll show you my. I get so much. Oh yeah, I don't know if you've looked at. I'll put my chart on.
Sure.
Wait, where's my screen gone? Yeah. This
The
one.
Oracle is going to share the chart right now. There she is.
Yeah. Don't know if you can see this screen here.
Yep.
See, I just did off the first, because like this first leg, the micro leg, we just went sideways and then exploded up and exploded up again. And then this one, we actually kind of had a bit of a sell-off on, like a real sell-off. These were just sideways.
Right.
So I just took a fib off that, and just doubled it to see like what would be double that, and it's 4,000 yuan. And interestingly, if I go to the daily on Huobi and put EMA, oh sorry, is it an MA?
Those that didn't, it was 4,000 won, not $4,000.
Yeah, so yeah, a 4,000 yuan is the double extension on it, and if you look, the moving average 200 on the daily is boom 3,962. So 3,962 happens to be, if you look at it, at that level there, and look where it is in relation to this past price data. See that?
Yep, going right across.
Yeah, okay, so keep this was like the 700 pump on Stamp, so keep that little level in mind, and I'll just open up my other chart. Where was it? Bitfinex 6 hourly.
The 6
So this is my,
oh, okay, you got yours.
yeah, I just put this on just I can get rid of this one just because I was just wanted a bit better candle sizes. But yeah, off this 700 pump, you see, look, we've got the cup and handle measured move up to, like, see again that same range equivalent,
yep,
which is there. And it's just like these ABCD targets from there is up to here. From this one is up to here. So just everything is kind of around this zone. I know Forex forecasters, he likes 632. Me and Dan V were speaking yesterday. We kind of both like 632. I noticed CR Investees put 630. There's actually even a boatload more for this figure. So everybody will probably short it and it'll explode it past it, but who knows? But
so real quick, just to recap, Andres, go back to that screen, or I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. So real quick, just to recap for those that are watching at home that maybe aren't really great at the charts and what they're looking at. So based on what you're describing here, where are you saying that from where we're at right now, where do you think we're going to end up at before any kind of a correction?
630. We could go down. We could go down now, a bit, and kind of play around at this level.
And that's, I think, on Bitfinex, correct?
Yeah, but I think price wants to go to 630, and I think 630 will be like, the desire for people to just lock in all this profit, or just be like, insane. And also, it's 4,000. It's a 200 moving average on pretty much all the exchanges, and also 4. We know that 4 is, what's it called? Tetraphobia or something like that. What? It's like I don't know if you've seen that. It's let me just yeah, that's it.
I'm not afraid of tetraphobia. All right, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Yeah, so tetraphobia, here you go, is a fear, is a practice of avoiding instances of the number 4. It is superstition in most common East Asian, Southeast, and you see this, -1 wanted.
Yeah, the number 4, yes. Just like you don't like the number 13, which is my lucky number.
Exactly. So we got, there's a lot of, and that's at the 4,000 figure, at the 200 moving average, So, there's a lot to say. It's going to kiss that 200 moving average and then come to a halt, I think, and then go back down and see how good the support is down below.
All right. Well, let's flip back to my chart real quick. This essentially is the Bitcoin wisdom, and trying to recap what Andre was just showing on his chart. Here's the cup portion, and I'm calling out 630. So it sounds pretty good because we come back here to this is like in March here. We kind of went flatlined and up and down. Let's see real quick. Yeah, Georgia. Yeah, you mute yourself. Get situated there, and we'll talk with you. Let's see, about 620, 630. More like 630, 635 is where we kind of went sideways right here. I can zoom in and I'll have to scroll over here. So right here, where we had some up and down movement, kind of went sideways. It was kind of ranging and getting tighter. That's all at around the 630 point. So definitely with what Andre is saying, 630 is going to be like a particular price point where we very well could see a reversal or something like that, a rebound, some sort of a pullback at the 630 mark. And right now we're at 572, so there's plenty of room here to make some money. I'd go with that. I think that's good. good price point 630.
But also, I don't know if you guys read the website that guy put up, Willy Bot Exposed. Did you see that from Gox?
Oh no, no, I didn't see that. Well, what's up with that?
Okay, I'm gonna get the link. It's on my Twitter.
We like links
So,
here. It's like proof.
yeah,
If you don't have a link, it didn't happen.
yeah. This is the link here. I'm gonna put the link. I'll put the link in this Google Hangout chat. You can paste it wherever you want to put it. Yeah, I'll put it in the TradingView chat because that's the one you're looking at as well.
I'll repost it on the Bonavest chat room at chat.bonavest.com.
Okay, and I've just got that link off my my Twitter account, twitter.com/flipper.com. No, I'm just messing with you. No, and but yeah, this it's a great write-up. And the guy he says at the end, he says, I didn't want to release this document until after Bitcoin had broke out the bear trend on its own accord, and it's just I can't describe it really, and there's just too much data to go into for even you just got to read it yourself if you've got any interest. And if you saw Willy Bybot buying, if you wondered why we just exploded on like a double bubble after the 261 so quickly, and you think this and Dan is particularly fond of this not being a new high and being a corrective measure before more down. Speaking to him about this yesterday, and I said, well, yeah, I also think it's a mini bubble, just like up to like 600, 900, maybe kiss 1,000. There's a good gap up there or something. So yeah, if you've got any interest in Willy Bot or anything like that, then check out that website. You can have a read about it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, we're seeing a jump here. Zoom into the 5 minute. There you go. A couple bucks just jumped up, and it did make a new high compared to the last high. Not a new high, but it's higher than the last one. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, I posted that about 15 minutes ago. This on OKCoin was this little continuation ascending wedge move. Whether it's got this steam to smash a new high on this one, I don't know. I think it's more likely just going to keep, make an even larger ascending wedge myself. But who knows? It could do anything at once, couldn't it?
Yeah, I think at this point, I think it would be very easy to say that it could hit the 586 point and then possibly either go sideways or maybe rebound down a little bit. But I think if this continues to move up, the last high was right here, and it's already surpassed that. That was 574, 573. And I think if it continued to move up past 576, we should go all the way up to around the 580 something point, and then it'll be a decision of, okay, is it going to bounce off the 586 and make a double top, or is it actually going to surpass with a lot of momentum? And just kind of looking at the timelines, I would say that's probably going to happen within the next, it'll probably get to if it gets up there, it'll get there in about the next maybe 6 hours. And that's going to be prime, Wooby time, where it's going to be starting their day. So it'll be up to Wooby if they're going to surpass the last big high of 586. You'll notice these porpoising are getting smaller and smaller, but they're happening quicker and quicker. So in this case here, it took a lot longer to do the full up and down. Now it took less time to go up and down, and it's getting very tighter. So we should be able to see where it surpasses its last high on Wooby. It's not as high as ours, but we'll see where it goes from there. It'll kind of help. Yeah.
I mean, it's also probably worth pointing out as well, if you put Finex up, probably the other exchanges as well, on the 4 hour on Wisdom, you can see that last sell-off after the last up run, it just looks like a big flag on the 4 hour,
Exactly.
And this,
or maybe you can see a little bit better. There's a 2 hour chart kind of does that. And here's another thing, those of you that weren't around with a lot of these big ups in Bitcoin in the past, if you're new to Bitcoin, this is a very general, like if you saw this looking back, you'd say, yep, that's just normal. Went up to 586, got back down to 560. That's a $20 range there. That's not even a 5%, barely 5%. That's just a normal pullback. If you're more of a long-term trader, you should not even be thinking about selling out. You should just hold what you got, because that's.
Well, I was hoping for a 38.2. I was hoping enough bear would be left in these guys to knock it down to 38.2, but it never got to 38.2. And if you look back on the last one, $50 up, almost no upwards move ever even made a 38.2. So pretty normal.
So I'm getting a little confused. I'm sure some at home are getting confused. 38.2. What are you talking about, Juan?
That's just a fib ratio. You know, like this.
Okay.
Yeah, 38.2 retracement.
If you want to play with some fib ratios, Bitcoin Wisdom has this thing. It's not the best, but so were you talking about this up, or are you talking about from right here?
Just look. Where's my screen share? Here it is.
On there for you. Hold on a second. Going back to the Oracle here.
Yeah, this one. So you can see the 38.2 was down here at a 506, and you know this from there to there and to there down. You know, lots of ABCD. There's lots of stuff pointing to that, and it really wanted to go down. Stamp never made. You know, once it bounced, it just double bottomed. So, you know, it was kind of set from there on in really. But yeah, never even traced 38.2, and neither did the other one. But interestingly enough, is if you go on the 1 hour, let's go 50 a minute. It's not very. Maybe OK coin might be a bit better. Oh, I tell you, I do stamp. Yeah, interestingly enough, so although this, although on the grand scheme of things, that high to that low, it never made 38.2, and it just double bottomed here. But if you took it off this level and go down, you can see it just come above the 61.8. So off this level, it was great. And I just find if you know, you play in the smaller time frames, like more hourly, you just go off the very most last one, and it just seems to run a little better. And then when you think it really is the absolute top of the top, yeah, then maybe go for the bigger ones, and that would put us down back at 530. But obviously, it's going to be a bit more. But the only other thing I'd add is 4 hour. You know, if you got the, you know, like the bearish divergence on the MACD, I mean, you might expect another drive. It kind of likes to do 3 at a time, doesn't it? 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. Dan was pointing this out yesterday as well. It's always like a three move thing lately. It's been so.
Yep, and if you guys haven't used Fibonacci, you can go to the Bonavest website, bonavest.com, or you can Google Bonavest Fibonacci, and you should be able to get to this article here, Missed Opportunities in Fiat, Learning Fibonacci Lines. And in that YouTube video and inside this article here, we cover a little bit about Fibonacci lines and how to use them to your favor. So you kind of understand all these lines we're talking about with the 38 this and the 60 that and blah, blah, blah. So check that out. That'll help you out learn a little bit more about Bitcoin trading and technical analysis and using these charts here on TradingView. TradingView charts definitely have better Fibonacci lines than Bitcoin Wisdom. Bitcoin Wisdom is more of a real quick, down and dirty, just to get an idea of what you're looking at. So as we've been talking, we are moving up, bouncing around from 576 to 573.
So, are you still listening, Dan?
I believe Dan is here. He's got his mic muted right now.
Yeah.
Hello, Dan. You have George here asking for you. Until we hear from...
Yeah, I'm here just listening in the background.
So what do you reckon, Dan? It's quite a change of sentiment, really. It's crept in the last, you know, since the middle of the week, really, early last week.
I'm sorry, that didn't come out very clear for me.
You think that there's quite a sentiment change, you know, since the last 5 or 6 days?
Okay.
You know, that's what it seems to me, that, you know, we've had 2 or 3 leg ups, you know, every couple of days.
Yes.
Been something going on. There doesn't seem to be much negative kind of. Everyone's saying, righto, well, you know, let's get cracking. That's what it
Yeah,
looks
I mean,
like to me.
this sentiment change, I'm not sure if it's going to be of the kind that is lasting in order to take the Bitcoin to retest the all-time high and even higher. I'm still viewing this as a retracement of the decline that we've had since January, with the view that once that retracement is over, we will still have another down leg that could come and retest the low or make a new low. So I don't know whether that answers your question. In terms of,
Just like to hear a point of view. That's
sorry,
all. Just like to hear another point of view.
yeah.
And that's what this show is about. Definitely every time we've had some guests on there, that's the best thing about it is you've got different people with different points of view. And hopefully if you kind of listen to everybody, you kind of come up with your own, maybe confirm something you already been thinking. You're like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It kind of helps you out with your trading.
Okay. Well, if you want me to, I'll share my chart, unless you feel I've answered your question.
Now,
Oh, that's good. Just one more thing.
Yeah.
What do you guys, any of you think of the concept of, the market being pumped by, Bitcoin hardware producers, for example, because I mean they're all out of business if the price of Bitcoins doesn't go up. There's enough Bitcoin hardware out there to barely pay for its own electricity, and unless the price goes up, there's no going to be any demand for any new equipment.
I wouldn't be an authority. I wouldn't really know enough to comment on that.
Well, I could probably speak about that because I've read about that. The miners they could take a big price drop and still be happy with the price, they're mining at. So this is just what I've read on Bitcoin market. Some people did calculations on it. So
there were some comments yesterday in the chat saying that new equipments are coming which are a lot more powerful, and the outdated ones are not as profitable anymore. So, I don't know whether that means the new equipments will enable them to produce more Bitcoins, or because it's supposed to be quicker and cheaper. So if they produce more Bitcoin because it's cheaper and many more people get involved, are we likely to have a larger Bitcoin production?
Well, I think what's key is more Bitcoins for less electricity. That's really
it's efficiency.
The angle. Yeah.
So, and that's what the whole drive with the mining thing is, and it's trying to mine as efficiently as possible in terms of energy and all that stuff. So I think that's why these other altcoins, that's what they're always trying to pump, isn't it? This altcoin is the future because we don't use loads of electricity. We've got this system, Blackcoin, for example. But yeah, a lot of people have been crying manipulation on this pump, and people have been saying it's Ripple guys, it's people buying because they want Blackcoin. But to me, this has not been a manipulated pump at all. I just don't see this as manipulation. I just see this as we broke the bear trend. People bought. People don't want to leave the train. Other people bought. Sellers couldn't take control, so it went back up. So more people bought. People think we're on the bull run, so more people bought. It's just a naturally self-feeding cycle till it gets to the level where it has a rest. So I don't see this as manipulation at all.
Long-term short might be exiting.
Yeah.
Just quickly to chime in with what's been going on the screen while we were talking there, I was trying to place an order, and it kept telling me invalid, or I had not enough balance. And the problem was the fact that I already had an order that was obviously out of the money, wasn't going to get hit, but it still calculates that amount of money in that, and so therefore it wasn't letting me make another purchase, so I had to cancel it and then replace my order. So now I've got a 70 BTC at 575. Right now I've got a $50 profit right now. right. Well, George, tell us a little bit about your trading experience. Is Bitcoin the first thing you've ever traded? Have you traded other stuff in the past? You're on. Your mic is muted right now, George. There you
Yeah,
go.
I'm with you. I've played around with indexes around the the .com boom and stuff like that. First got into bitcoins to move Australian dollars to euros, and as it happened, when the price went ballistic, I happened to have a lot of them, and since then I've kind of I kind of like it. I like it. Certainly would use. I was actually using GOX because GOX took Australian dollars, and it was a lot cheaper. To put money in there and pull it out in Europe or vice versa.
Right on. Yep.
But
You're using Bitcoin for some of the purposes that it was designed for, not just investing, trading.
Yeah, exactly. But now I've realised that it's nice to have a little bit of money in there. I mean, I've got other. It's not my only thing. I've got quite a bit of real estate, and I'm an old guy. Like I'm 56, so. I'm basically financially sound, but nevertheless, I'm contracting in Belgium, and it's hand to mouth really, even though I'm on quite a good rate, a lot of it's going out the window on tax and shit like that, and then I don't want to start selling properties just to survive here, so, I'd like to have a little bit of money coming in, to put a bit of fruit on the sideboard. And I've actually got 2.2 terahash of KNC miners. A couple of them I picked up recently, second-hand cheap. I picked up one. I got myself a November Jupiter. Last year. So I've had a fair bit of an interest in it. But like I say, I never expected the price to rocket. Until China pushed it on its way. Until then, I didn't give a shit if it was up or down.
Exactly.
Was always kicking around the same levels, But then there's this idea of the S curve and all this kind of thing sent everyone silly. I can't see that repeating really. I can see it getting up, and I can see that there must be a lot of money under a lot of bitcoins underwater for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And,
I'm raising my hand. I'm one of them right now, but things are looking better and better every day. So.
Exactly, and with the mining difficulty increase, I'm making $40 a day, right? Which is crap compared to what you made in November.
Exactly.
And I'm making it on the same hardware, but there isn't on the market. It's all 6 months' time, but hey, there's nothing really radically better than the 28 nanometer Jupiters and what have you from KNC Miner. And if you want to make a serious amount of money with mining, you've got to have air conditioning, you've got to have 5, 10 terahash, you've got to have 50 amps of electricity coming into your house.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that.
You've got to almost go like hermetically sealed room, dust-free, aircon, particulate filters. Like you say, 3-phase power. You've got to go full shebang, haven't you?
And it's okay. It's been okay for the last 6 months because it's been winter, right? I've got a big house here and I've got a cellar and I've moved all my stuff down there. I'll ride through summer without air conditioning, but I went to a guy's place. He had one of the 18 cell Neptune substitutes that KNC Miner were giving people, and the place was like a sauna.
Yeah, I bet.
3 kilowatts each, or lots of watts, and basically he's going to need an air conditioner in a couple of months or in a month's time. So I don't know. I can't see the technology for the mining actually. It has to get an order of magnitude more efficient. Otherwise, it's not worth anyone, running out and buying new mining kit. Yeah. That's what I think. I mean, even the Neptune is kind of, 30% less power. That's nothing to cross the street for.
Mm-hmm.
I like all your analogies there, George. When you listen to people from other countries.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, a good buy indicator was in the troll box, in the TradingView troll box, was I was sensing a lot of despair around 420, and I said it a lot. I said, this is despair. You know, people had really given up. Everyone was like 250, 100, 150, you know, 350. Everyone, people had really given up. You know, buyers had given up. Nobody was buying. It was just occasional sales trickling in, and you know, there's a real despair set in. So that was obviously the good time to buy.
Well, you know, all I can say to that is that if China was going to, you know, truly bow out of the market, you know, then, you know, the doldrums would have ensued. But, you know, there's just been talk of it. You know, it hasn't happened. No
They
one's
haven't
been
done anything.
hung or fired, or, you know, shot or anything like that, you know, for having bitcoins. So until that happens, they're in.
Yeah, no one's actually done anything in China. Just talk.
Yeah. Everybody's afraid to do anything in China.
I think there must be too many of those kleptocrats running the place that want to use it. Yeah.
You know, when you were talking about how everybody kind of got, you know, just bowed out of Bitcoin, and me included at one point, it was like as it kept getting lower and lower and talking about 150 and this and that. I remember the days after April when I first got started, April 1st, and the big jump up in April and the ensuing crash, and then a couple of months later we were at like $75 a Bitcoin from 266. So it was a high of $266, and a couple of months later the Bitcoins are just hovering like for weeks at the $100 to $75 level. And had I put in the amount of money that I have now, which is like $30,000 worth, had I put $30,000 in at Bitcoin when it was at its lowest at 75 bucks, you know, you have all these Bitcoins. But when it was at 75, after I already saw it go from 266 to like 100 in about an hour, 30 minutes, and man, I was just like throwing everything up in the air, going, screw all this Bitcoin crap. So, I only had like maybe I think $2,000 at that point in it, and I was like, you know, screw this Bitcoin crap, and I just held on to my Bitcoins and said I'm just gonna forget about it for a few months, and I did. And sure enough, it came back to like 180, 100 or 220 or something like that, and it's like, but man, it's like at its lowest, pick a point at its lowest and just buy some. Just buy some on a whim to say, hey, I'm just going to throw it at the two sheets to the wind, buy some Bitcoins, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Hey, Barnabas, what do you think of the concept of it going quiet over the summer?
No, it's going to blow up this summer. It is my prediction that I put on TradingView a while back. If you get on TradingView, you can quote follow me, and I think you can see my ideas or something like that. Let me see. Oops, ideas published.
So why do you think it's going to blow up this summer?
Based on the cyclical events that if you look back in history, you can see happen. And here's a chart. It's a little hard to see here. It's not full screen, but you guys can go to TradingView and check it out. I'll put a link here shortly. So looking back here, this dates all the way back to 2011 on the far left side. So this is summer of 2011. This is a high of $32. And then if you forward about 7 months, you hit another quote peak. Now this is a logarithmic chart. If you don't know what a logarithmic chart means, it means that essentially these ups and downs aren't exactly in relation, directly relation. So this is $32. This is $7. So I'm just counting the peak. So it's 7 months, about 7 months to each peak. 7 months to this peak of $15. 7 months to this peak of $266 in April last year. 7 months to the peak here at $1,200 in November. So if you fast forward the same number of bars, 230 bars, each one of these bars is a day, about a day here. And so you've got 229 bars, 229 days, and we should be, I think it's at the end of June, beginning of July, somewhere around there. So I've got here from November to June, July. If we maintain these percentages, you can look here from January to August is 115 increase. August to April is 1,600 increase. From April to November, 350. Let's just say it's 115, which is the lowest it's ever been. we'd still be at a price point of $2,500. If we go on the midway point from where we went from April to November, we're talking about $5,400. So my prediction was about $5,000 per Bitcoin somewhere at the end of June, beginning of July, and I think I'm a little off. I think it may take till July, August, but July, August, I guarantee you we're gonna surpass the all-time high, which is I think $1,200.
I agree with you, August. I think yeah, this run will carry on until August, and I mean, for those that want to play long term, I'll put my screen on screen share. You might. I have.
Yep.
Is my screen on? Oh, it's on. I've spoke about this exact chart before. I'm going to take it off Bitfinex because it's got that awkward candle that just kind of, you know, it might just throw things off a bit. I'll put it under stamp. Show him that Willy report. Yeah, Night Talk. I sent him. I gave him the Willy report. So he'll have to read that before he can decide, you know, what he makes of it. So yeah, just the 841 cross on the daily. Exit EMAs works best, and let me just. Why is that? Let's just choose a different color. Go for a blue on that one maybe. And then I'll just put it into log mode. So yeah, you can see here that if you use the 841 cross on the daily, you know, you get very, very good signals. You know, like you were in here. You know, you got out on the Silk Road crash. You know, but it's happened so quick. I mean, I was just gobsmacked. But you know, you're back in here. You ride it all the way up. You know, you're back out here. You know, you basically 841 crosses on daily. This isn't even daily, sorry. That's why it's not optimal.
Which one is that? The 6 hour?
This is daily. So look, if you're out on the 841 cross on the daily, you're out at kind of 800, and you didn't get back in till 470 the other day. And so any kind of 841 cross, like you can see it here, you were in at 60, you were in at 91. And you didn't get out till, you know, 700. I mean, I just went a bit mental there, but that's also really good. And so long-term traders, 841 cross on the daily seems really good. And the other thing I would say that people might be interested in knowing is I think it might be an EMA. It really likes this one, I think. Is it 100? It might be 150.
We've talked
130.
about a lot of the hangouts in the past. The EMAs for the poor man's indicator, really you can't go too wrong with looking at your EMAs, especially on long term like this daily here. One thing I will say that since this show we were talking about margin trading and stuff, you don't want to go margin trading doing the daily EMA, and the reason why is because you're waiting a long time where sometimes the price is going down or it's going sideways. If you're paying for some swap costs or you're paying for the extra leverage that you're getting, you're not going to come out ahead because you're paying every day, even if the price is going down or if it's going sideways. But definitely if you have money and you're buying the actual Bitcoins, buying and selling Bitcoins, definitely you can't go wrong with exactly what Andre is explaining right here.
And yeah, so what I was going to say was this 150 EMA on the daily is an absolutely beautiful EMA. Honestly, it's beautiful. I mean, take for example Silk Road crash down here. You can see, you know, price just kind of bounced off it.
Yep.
You can see the bubble crash bounced off it. You can see it's support. There's resistance, and it's now at 520, so it most likely probably become support again. But one thing which I'd really like to highlight about this 150 EMA is that you can see it was the bubble. It was the bottom of the bubble on the last one, and then we go to 260. It was the bottom of the bubble on the 260. We go to the next one. It was the bottom of the bubble on the next one, and on this one, well, it won't go back far because there's enough data. So basically, this 150 EMA is almost the you're just buying at the absolute bottom of every bubble crash. So once it starts to break down from a stupid peak, just sit and wait for the 150 EMA, and you'll just be buying at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. So that's 150. So just to kind of recap what you were saying, if you look at your daily EMA crossovers to get in and get out, you could also then back it up with looking at the 150-day EMA and say that if it ever crosses or touches the 150 EMA, it might be a signal to possibly buy it if it's a large drop. Because if you look at your chart here, it's only on the large sharp drops that holds true. Because if you look at the center of his chart there, where it kind of just blends right across the line and goes back up, that would be a sign that don't exactly do that at that point, because there wasn't a sharp daily drop. It was just kind of like the price action going across it. So I think that's a good indicator right there, is use the 150 to get in and it touches it on a sharp drop.
Yeah, so the more you're going to go parabolic away.
Could I ask a question on that? Is what seemed to indicate to you that we will probably not be moving sideways, chopping, oscillating around the 200 or 150 moving average for maybe, few more weeks or maybe a month?
What would say to me that we won't do that?
Well, first of all, at the moment, I think you will find that particular moving average is pretty flat rather than actually moving up. You had a situation previously where it was moving up and it was beginning to flatten, and price came, touched it, it didn't really make a headway to the upside, and it fell below. So I don't think it's actually out of the woods yet.
Yeah, is it? I mean, I think anybody can tell the future, and why not? You're probably as right as any else, aren't you?
Yeah, can you go back to showing the crossovers? Can you do the 150 EMA plus the two other lines you were using? I don't know what numbers you were using for those two crossovers.
Well, this pink one is the 200 that Dan's talking about. That's just an MA, and the crossover for the daily is the EMA 841. So do this 8. This is the orange and the blue.
Well, you're using 41 for your crossover.
841 EMA crossover for the daily.
Okay.
For your long-term buy-sell signals.
Okay.
And yeah, like what Dan's saying is, he's saying, what makes you think it won't come up to this 200, which is going quite flat, and just go sideways? And he's probably right, because if you look back at what happened previously, it kind of came up to this level, is above it, but after we came back up, we did just go sideways. So why not? Maybe it will just come up and go sideways.
And that's fine. I mean,
who knows? You
say sideways, but let's look at the numbers. How many dollars was that? That was a good probably $50, $100. How much is that?
What, when it did it before?
Scrolling back there where it kind of followed, and you're saying sideways, but measure from where the top of that green as it came
sideways, but that particular moving average was still trending strongly up.
Yeah, it was trending strongly up, and who knows? I mean,
the difference between now is that we are not trending that much up, and we're beginning to flatten. Even the 200 is beginning to flatten, and 150 definitely flatten. It's actually moving down.
That's the angle it was at before.
Yeah.
So let's just carry that through. It's changed a bit because it's on a log graph. It's changed a bit, but that's the angle it was at before. It's just because it's on log, it's changing. You see, but so yeah. I mean
that if you put you had 150 before, right?
Yeah.
So if you put your 150 and your 200 on.
Let me put my 150. The 150 was an EMA.
Yeah, put that one on.
Yeah, it's this one.
Now you were trying to show about the previous bubble coming to 150 and being tested and supported. Yeah. See, now 150 at the moment is actually now declining rather than rising up. Whereas in the previous instances, you will find 150 wasn't flat even. It was still trending up along with the 200.
Yeah, if we make it up to the 200 MA at 630, this 150 might start curling up as well.
It will take a while, but it might, yes. But equally, you could find that price will go up and probably won't have enough gumption and will come back down again. And in which case, you'll probably have a bearish confirmation.
Yeah, it equally it might do that. I mean, what I was saying as well is it kind of goes, this 150 EMA is pretty significant on the daily in terms of going, look, for support, GOX crash, and then support, down, boom, 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 and then it's resistance. And you see
Yeah, I
we
agree
bounced
with
the
what you're saying, but my only concern is that all those places, the 150 was still rising up, and then there it was beginning to flatten, and now it's actually declining.
yeah.
So it could be that we can get a fantastic bullish crossover signal going through with the price breaking above the 200, and then 150 following up, and that would be fantastic, excellent long-term bullish move. But equally, you could find that all those moving averages will bump into 200 and bounce back down.
They might
Right.
do.
Also looking at the colors here, so we're saying what Dan V is saying is if that lime green kind of line, you can see it starting to go down due to recent price action. That's the 150 mark. But the overriding 200, which is the reddish violet kind of, that one's still going up. So what Dan's saying is that in the future here, we could see to where that the purplish one, violet one continues to kind of go across. And then as the lime green line starts to curve back up to follow the more recent price changes, that would be the big bullish sign if it crossed over the violet. So if the lime green goes over the violet, that would be a big bullish sign.
Yes.
But the other thing that could happen that we want to watch to see and get a confirmation is that it could rub up right against the lime green and the violet, just rub up against the violet and never actually cross over and maybe bounce off of it and go down. So that's when
even if the price actually goes above, but the longer term 150 green line fails to actually go above the
crossover.
yeah, and then the price might have gone up, and probably everybody will be thinking this is now going to moon and further away. But you might find the price then just completely collapses, and then we've got a very long-term bear trend still in progress.
Yeah, I'm not in favor of a new all-time high on this bubble myself.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see it because it's we haven't fully come down to a good mean off this one. We're still up from the previous two.
Yeah.
We haven't really got a good reason to rally. We've got no PayPal, no eBay, no Amazon, no Wall Street Exchange. So we haven't got a.
And when you say this bubble, are you meaning within the last 2 months bubble, or are you talking about a bubble overall, like trying to beat the all-time high of 1,200?
Trying to beat the all-time high. Like, I just don't think it'll do it. I think it's just going to come up, like maybe 800, 900, maybe 1,000, and then back down, 600, 700, 800.
And I'm okay with that. I will take it going to 900, pull some money out, and just kind of say, okay, now what do we do? I'm good with that. That would put me back in the black and maybe with a little bit of profit. But I'm thinking that we're going to hit that 1,200, or I'm sorry, the 900 range or whatever, with ups and downs maybe within the next, let's see, this is May, so maybe 2 months. We have about 60 days, and I think we could get there. At that point in time, though, we don't know what may change with the market and the sentiment of Bitcoin, and it's going to make new news headlines because it's finally rebounding and it's going to be getting close to the all-time high. And I think it's going to interest more people because now they've realized, oh, those crazy nuts that were telling me about it at Christmas time over Christmas dinner, they were right. It did come back, And it's like maybe I should jump in on this before it goes even higher, just like they said it would last year at Christmas time.
Yeah, it might do. I mean, if you look at that website I sent you with the Gox one, it's brilliant, just brilliant. You probably read that one and be like, oh my god. So, and just I mean, if I load up my long-term chart, like me and Dan were looking at this the other day. I don't know if you can see my screen if it's still on.
It's still up. Go ahead.
Is it okay? Yeah, you see, this is what I was predicting. You see, it's almost like this bubble here. This one never fully corrected, and then Carpella's had his bots, pumping this, and then it's like we've come down again, and I wouldn't be surprised to see just a lower peak, like I say, which would be like these ones, because
right,
to make a new high every time it's log on log,
Yep.
It's like if this is log, that's log on log, and so I don't mind doing a bit of a high and then sideways, and then it just gives it a bit more of a run up.
That makes perfect sense as well. If we get up to that 900, 1,000 range and we bounce off of that, it's almost like repeating like those other two yellow humps that you have there, where it was a big run up. You know, obviously we're going to make a big run up from 400 to 900, but it's not going to exceed the exponential amount of rise that we had the last time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that
Who
happen.
knows?
And picking once again with this magical 7-8 month timeline from peak to peak, that would put us at about the end of the year again. So Christmas time this year, we would then see this bigger peak that would hopefully be higher than the 1200 mark.
Yeah. So, and I just think that might be the case this time. Who knows? You know, who knows? So.
Who knows?
I think it doesn't matter what.
Question: when is a good time to buy Bitcoin?
Daily 841 cross.
Any time is a good time to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, it's like the tree planting, isn't it? When was the best time to buy Bitcoin? The best time to buy Bitcoin was in 2010. The second the best time to buy it is today.
There you go.
But if you...
Just going to say, sorry, go on, Andre.
I was just going to say, if you're looking for signals, daily 841 EMA cross is a good sign. That was it.
I was just going to say, with this, we're looking about 800. It seems that there must be quite a bit of money put into Bitcoin, around the 800 level. Because it went very horizontal there for quite some weeks.
Yeah,
so
you're right. I think there's going to be.
Go on, you tell me what you think of it, because I'm kind of
I'm
new.
with you. I'm with you. I think there's going to be a lot of people there. They're going to be guys saying, "Finally, I can get out," and with no super incentive to rally, finally I can get out, and that could provide a lot of resistance. We know there's an OT short sweet spot there, so yeah, why not?
Well, right now the price action on Woobi is going up, yet we're lagging a little bit behind here on Bitfinex. We took a little bit of a dip down, but I have a feeling we're still going to go up from this point. Watching Woobi, we're just going to follow along with what they're doing. All in all, things are looking pretty good right now. I'm comfortable in my spot. I'm at 70 Bitcoins going long at 575. So I'm feeling good right now where I'm at.
Just one thing, Bonavest, what do you think of this concept of the Chinese pumping their exchanges and faking all the numbers and all that sort of stuff? What's the general view on that?
There's a lot of stuff that I don't concern myself about. That is partially one of them. What I look at is the fact that people are doing stuff. They're doing things are happening, and then other people react to them. So regardless of whether it's fake or not, people are reacting to it. So if these numbers are going up and volume is crazy and it's just manipulation, the point is that my Bitfinex account is reacting to it. And as long as I'm trading it actively and making money from it, it profits me. Whether it's right or wrong, whether it's the accurate, true value of Bitcoin or not, I'm not concerned with that. I'm just concerned with buying low and selling high.
Yeah, fair enough. Good idea.
I mean, there's lots of different viewpoints because there's a lot of people that believe in the Bitcoin thing and they're really all about the Bitcoin movement. Whereas I'm a trader, and as much as I like Bitcoin and I'm interested in that stuff, when I'm trading with my money, I just trade based on what I'm seeing and what's going on. I really don't care the whys behind it. Just like with the China stuff, when we were trading back earlier this year, if we go to a 4-hour chart, all these big dips. Maybe I got to go to a 12-hour now. Oh, we're getting old. So all these big dips that we saw in the past, there's a big red one, there's a red one, there's a red one, there's a red one. Most of that stuff was based on China sentiment. Most of it was unfounded. It was a report that came out early in the morning. People read a lot of stuff into it and start dumping. And dumpers want to dump. So it's like you just got to trade off of it. Whether it's right or wrong, whether it was correct or not, price is crashing. So guess what? Sell out with everybody else and buy back in lower.
Price is crashing. Buy. Price is crashing, you're going to sell out. You're going to join them and sell at the bottom.
It's exactly right. I mean, you got to just go with it. I mean, you could stand there all day long, but when you could stand there all day long and say, "Oh, they're so stupid. That report doesn't say they're banning Bitcoin. They're not banning Bitcoin." Point is, everyone else thinks it is, and they're selling. So I'm not going to hold on to my Bitcoins at $1,000 when the price is currently at 900.
Yeah, definitely. If everybody starts, this has happened to me before. I got filled. It was going up. I had a bid sitting pretty low. It got filled up, and I was like, "Yeah, I got filled up." I was like, "Wait, what's happening here?"
Yeah,
Just carried on. Yeah, it drove through the floor because they'd banned Bitcoin that instant. So I was left holding the bag, but I refused to panic sell. And the thing is, then once that happens, that it's going to carry on going down. So I just set a limit ask at about 50% retracement once it kind of bottomed out, and that got took out. And then at least that way I knew I didn't sell at the floor. Got a better price for it. So
yeah,
anytime, and that's the thing as well. It's like when Bitcoin spikes now on this level, whatever it's going to be, you don't have to try and short it on the way up, because it's like you're just going to lose out. It's just going to suck. You're better off letting it confirm it's dead and it's going to start, and then just short on the bounce. And
Yep.
you're going to short $20-$30 from the top, but you're not going to be an idiot trying to catch it on the way up.
Yeah, I'm kind of strayed away from trying to catch the small bounces and things because I never time it right. And if you don't catch it when it happens, you're going to be too late, and then you're going to end up having to buy back in higher or close out your position at a loss. I think right now we're not going to see these big drops like the $100 drops in a day kind of thing like we used to see. We're not going to see that just yet. We may get there at some time in the future. So like right now, just because it starts to dip down, I wouldn't say sell everything. Maybe sell a portion of whatever you have. That way you could potentially buy in lower. But if you didn't catch it right, at least you're not putting yourself out. One of the things I'll cover real quick on Bitfinex, especially with margin trading and such, one of the things you want to look at with I just lost my train of ups and downs. Oh yeah, so when you're trading with margin, what I've learned with my one big fail mistake earlier that really set me back is that you want to get an idea of what is the overall trend. So in this case, back here from say the beginning of March down to April, the overall trend is down. You have to get it in your head that regardless of where you think Bitcoin can be or is going to go, right now it's going down, period. Get the overall trend, and then you have a better understanding of when it's really low is when you want to tack on some more and short it or go down with it, sell out. If you have Bitcoin, sell out now, wait for it to go lower. When it goes up is when you also want to be able, if you're using margin trading, you want to go ahead and short when it goes up because the overall trend is going down. Anytime that it spikes going up, that's about the time you want to short. You got to get it in your mind to train your mentality of it's not going to turn around yet. It's not too soon for that. Get the overall trend. And when you do, in your margin trading account, decide whether you're going to sit in dollars or sit in Bitcoin. Now, normally, if you're buying and selling the actual Bitcoins, you think of it as I'm in fiat or I'm in Bitcoin, right? In margin trading, it really doesn't matter which one you're at because you can hold positions of whatever you want. If you want to hold Bitcoin, it doesn't matter whether you have dollars or Bitcoin here. You can, quote, have a position like I do right now. I have 70 Bitcoins right here. And it doesn't matter whether I have dollars or coins here. But the good thing is if you put your mindset in what's the overall trend, and that's where you put your money in. So in this case over here, we're going down. How should you hold your money? In fiat or in Bitcoin if the overall trend is down? You want it in fiat. So don't do like what I'm doing right here. If we're going down and I have Bitcoins here, every day that it goes down, my balance goes down. Why? Because I'm holding Bitcoin, and those Bitcoins are worth less and less as it goes down. Even if I don't have a position here. If I don't have a position, I'm just sitting back, relaxing. This value continues to go down. So if the overall trend is down, hold it all in fiat. Just keep it in fiat. When it goes up, don't worry about it. Keep it in fiat. Buy some Bitcoins on margin trading. That'll help you, right? You'll make money. Now, in this case right now, if I was in cash as it was going down, now that I'm feeling the overall trend is up, now I'm going to hold Bitcoin all the time. Why? Because as that price goes up, not only am I gaining the value of these 70 BTC right here, this amount for my balance continues to grow as well. So as the price goes up, I can buy more and more, and that's evident because I can hold this 70. If it jumps up 50 bucks, my tradable balance will increase, and I could buy even more right here because this value has increased. The 31 BTC I have has increased in value. So always determine your overall trend and keep your money there when you're doing margin trading. Question.
Well, I don't like the stress of margin trading, personally. You know.
I'm with you on that. It's
Yeah.
easy.
Here goes though the sentiment that I mentioned maybe an hour ago or so. I was saying a lot of people confuse margin trading and leverage trading and think they're one thing. And a lot of the sentiment of, well, that's a little stressful, or oh, that's really risky, is leverage. And leverage is where you're trading more than what you actually have. Whereas margin trading, you can trade margin trading with one-to-one leverage, and it's just as if you actually are buying the bitcoins and not buying and selling the bitcoins. The same thing. You're only risking the amount of money that you currently have.
So I'm with you, George. I like to just either buy or sell, and I like that because if I sell into dollar, I can just walk away. I don't have to think about it. Whereas if you're shorting, it's like obviously you can actually start losing.
Okay, but
losing money.
This is the confusion. Just like what you said, I get you. I understand. You don't want to short, right? You just want to buy and sell, right? So how do you do it with margin trading? This is how you do it. In this margin trading that we have right here, I'm buying 70 Bitcoin, right? And if I don't like to short, I just want to buy and sell. If I think it's going down, what will I do? Sell 70 Bitcoins. At that point, I will own no Bitcoin. I'll have no Bitcoin position, and I'll have whatever I have up here, whether it's 31 Bitcoins or so many thousands of dollars of US dollars. That's it. Buy and sell. Don't short. There is some confusion out there about how margin trading and leverage, shorting, and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to short. You can quote buy and sell, which is just buy 70, and when I think it's going down, I'm going to put 70, and then I'm going to put my price in, and I'm going to say margin sell. If it sells, it's going to clear all that out, and if I had cash, it would just show the full 17.9 right here, or if I had Bitcoins, it would show however many Bitcoins I have, 31, and that's it. I just bought, and then I sold. No
it's probably stems from the way Bitfinex presents its site, and that is you've got exchange trading, which is just buy and sell, and then the margin tab is where you're working with leverage. So that's probably where it comes from.
Yeah, and it's true in stock stuff as well. A lot of people confuse how margin and leverage work, and they usually relate it to being the same thing. Because you can't do leverage without margin trading, but you can do margin trading with just one-to-one leverage, which is if you have $1, you can trade $1. That's it. The benefit at that point is that you could short if you want.
Did you set that ratio there? It's got a thing that says leverage 2.5 to 1. Is that something that you choose?
Correct. And we were discussing a second ago that someone in TradingView was saying that it defaults to 2.5 to 1, and that you may want to check it so that it goes to 1-to-1. But here's the thing. People that worry about leverage, and I'll recommend don't trade on leverage unless you're really comfortable with what you're doing. So here's the thing. It could say 2.5 to 1 right here, and I could be set up with the selection of 2.5 to 1. But if I don't sell or buy more than what I have, so in my case, if I have 31 Bitcoins, long as I don't do a margin buy or a margin sell for more than 31 Bitcoins, I'm not using leverage. Even if that says 2.5 to 1, I'm just using 1-to-1 leverage at that point.
Can you put Bitcoins in there, or do you only have to put cash? I mean, I've never used Bitfinex. You put cash in there, or do you can deposit? Do they hold Can you put Bitcoins in, or are they just notional Bitcoins that you deal with, and it's all cash IO kind of thing?
Unless someone tells me otherwise, every website you ever go to that has anything to do with trading bitcoins allows you to put bitcoins in it. But a few of them don't allow you to do cash deposits, and quite a few of them people will tell you don't send cash to it. Just go buy your bitcoins through some other reputable site and then transfer your bitcoins over to their site. Bitfinex, I've heard people actually say that they do use the fiat deposits and that it works well, especially the SEPA in Europe and stuff. And I believe there's quite a few people here in the States and North America that say that Bitfinex is relatively reliable in depositing cash to be able to buy bitcoins. Me personally, I just use Coinbase in North America, coinbase.com, to buy my bitcoins, and then I transfer them to wherever I want them. But I will put my disclaimer. Leverage is very, very scary. Be careful. It will hurt you.
Just out of curiosity, how long can these trades stay open?
As long as you can continue to pay for them.
Okay.
So right now, we're going into our second hour, and I notice it's now updated again. So my swap cost for this particular trade, now at 70 bitcoins, it used to be 40 bitcoins, is now $6.65. So every hour it updates the interest amount. And if I want to get a detail, I can click on total return swaps. They call it swaps on Bitfinex, and then I can click right here, swap used in a margin position, a total of $40,260, which is the amount that I'm holding, 70 bitcoins worth. And here it itemizes out the amount of money right here and at what percentage interest rate that I'm using it for, and it also gives you an expiration of how long I have it. So most of these are dated like 30 days. Is it 30 days? Yeah, 30 days from now, 24 of June. This one here says 27 May is only 2 days. So once this expires, this $16 is going to have to get thrown back into the pool to figure out who's going to loan me some cash for to continue to keep the trade open. So if you do all the math for this amount times that percent and this amount times that percent, you average it all out and total it up, it's going to end up being somewhere around three something per hour. And I was saying earlier, if you're doing the daily crossovers and all that, you don't want to be doing that with margin trading or with leverage, because you're having to pay for these extra costs. And if the price is going down or the price is going sideways, you're still paying every hour a little bit of money to hold it open. So very well, you could run into a situation where your swap cost is more than your profit.
Right. And so Bitfinex themselves, there must be some kind of a hedge going on behind the scenes, right? I mean, you tell me.
Actually, no. Bitfinex is supported by its users. So all these swaps here, and here's another thing about Bitfinex. You have the exchange, you have margin trade, and then you have these swaps. And you personally can also offer swaps. So if I had cash sitting in here and I didn't want to buy any Bitcoin, I didn't want to trade anything, I just had cash sitting in here and it had US dollars sitting here, I could select to offer it up for other people to use for their margin trading, and then I get a steady rate percent per day. Right here, the demand, people are wanting to borrow $6,000 at 0.215% for 15 days. And if you wanted to, in the system here, you could select, okay, I'm going to lend my money to this particular offer at that percent rate, blah, blah, blah. The easy way is just to put your money in there and say you want to go at the flash rate. And the flash rate is pretty much what a lot of people do. They just throw it in there, and when that fills up, you know, your money gets used and you get an interest rate. The interest rates are actually, some of them are pretty good.
You could do that and not even bother trading Bitcoins.
You could. It would be a definite more of a steady income, and I won't say that when Bitcoin is like in a good trend that it's going to make you money compared to just buying the Bitcoin. But that's something that, you know, you as an investor would calculate and figure out, is it better to give them my Bitcoin or my dollar? Because you can give them Bitcoin too. Let's see, where do I show that? Up here. If I click BTC, now I can see people that are offering to let me borrow their Bitcoins. In the case of where I thought the price was going to go down. So somebody would give me some Bitcoins now. So, hey, Joe Blow, give me 100 Bitcoins right now. I'll give them to you in a week. And what I'll do is I'll sell those 100 Bitcoins right now because I know the price is going to go down. And when the price goes down in a week, I'll buy back 105 bitcoins,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to give 100 bitcoins back to Joe Blow and say, there's your 100 bitcoins back that I borrowed last week. Appreciate it, and I get to keep the difference.
Sure.
So maybe you're one of those buy and holders, and you got like 100 bitcoins just sitting there, and you don't really care about trading in and out and blah blah blah. You could offer up your bitcoins for someone else to use, and you would get a steady percentage of that as long as they held on to them.
And you can't lose them.
I won't lay any guarantees. You'll have to read all the jargon. My understanding is that nobody has really come forth saying that they lost their money and this and that. There's things in place on the website. That whole, if you go to margin trade, that whole margin requirement, the 13% or the 10%, that's supposed to be there so that if the price was to drop, the system would automatically liquidate your positions, get the money back, and return it to the people that were lending, the funds or whatever. So there's things in place to prevent that, but I don't think I've read anywhere where it's guaranteed.
Yeah, sure. So if you had 10 grand, how many bitcoins could you ride, for instance?
How many could you what?
Could you ride? Could you hedge with? Could you kind of go? What's the word?
So
how many
I
contracts could you buy?
invested 25 bitcoins, $25,000 worth of bitcoins. If I put $10,000 in there,
so what do you want to? You have cash, right?
say I put 10,000 in my account.
Okay.
I would then be able to go long on 10,000 worth of bitcoins.
You could at 1-to-1 leverage. You could go
Under one.
$25,000
times $25,000 worth of bitcoins.
Yes, you could. So here's the how leverage works. So the little calculator here. You got $10,000, and right now the current price of Bitcoin is 577. So we'll divide that by 577. You could buy right now 17.33 bitcoins and watch it go up $100. Okay, and at that point, you times that by 100, you would have made $1,700. Okay, or you could do $10,000 times 2.5 leverage, which means you actually have the buying power of $25,000 and buy those same bitcoins at 577. Oh shucks.
Yeah, no, I dig, totally dig, no problem.
And then you'd have a little line right here like I do. Instead of 70, you'd have a line that said 43. Even though you only have the amount of money to be able to buy 17, you could have 43. And when it went up $100, then you'd have $4,000 instead of $1,700. But if it goes the wrong way, you'll lose exponentially more.
So it'll automatically start eating into your capital, and then when it goes below that, it just closes the trade, does it, automatically? It doesn't come knocking for margin?
Yeah, what it'll do is it'll close you out, but at that point you would be so far out of the money, yeah. You might as well write it all off as a complete loss at that point. But that's far, like even at this point in my 70 bitcoins, I'm pretty much using up all my money. I only have 4,000 left available from the 43,000 that was available, right? So that's pretty much all of it, right? But it would mean that for me to get closed out, the price of Bitcoin would have to fall to $450 before that happens.
Yeah, I saw that, Bonavest, when I saw your account, that you were pretty much maxed out on that.
Yeah. So here's the risk. Here's the extreme risk that could totally just wipe me out and make me say, forget it, it's all gone. So here's the thing, and it happened, and I'm sure it happened to a couple of people. Let's see, where was that?
What have you done? Gone long 475?
Where's that?
Only a week ago that it was underwater. that it was under 450.
Yeah. Well, here's a point in time where I would get screwed, so that if I was like here in these days where we're going down, right, and I felt like, oh look, it's gonna dip down here, and I'm gonna short it, and I'm gonna get about maybe $20-30, and then I'm gonna buy back in right here at 610.
Flash crash.
A flash crash. Somebody sold, I think it was 10,000 bitcoins on accident. We're all saying on accident, or he fat fingered it or something.
On Bitfinex.
Yep. And
just on Bitfinex, yeah.
It went all the way down to like 100, and I think it actually went to like 116 or 120 or something like that. And so here's the thing: where's my liquidation price? 450. So if there was one of those things again, even though this literally happened in like 15 to 30 minutes, and then it went right back up. Okay, so did it pass $450? Even for 1 second? Yeah, it did. And guess what the system would do to me? It blows me out at 450. So at $450, if I have 70 bitcoins, they go 70 bitcoins times $450, I would get back $31,000. Okay? Right now, at 70 bitcoins, when I purchased them at 575, how much money did I spend? 40,000. If they close me out and they subtract the $31,000 that they get out of cashing it out, that leaves me with 9,000. My bitcoins is 31 bitcoins, so it would subtract $9,000 worth of bitcoins out of the 31 at $450. So at $450, 31 bitcoins ain't a whole lot. 41, or I'm sorry,
you wiped out
times 450. That'd be 13. So they'd take what did I say? 8,000, 9,000 out of 13,000, and I'd end up being left with $2,000-$3,000.
Yeah, sure.
Not fun times. Very dangerous. Please do your homework. Test the waters with small amounts.
Yeah, Barnabas, I saw you were pretty maxed out on that trade, and what I say is you should definitely leave some left over for in case you need to go the other way,
Well, so here's the thing. If you go the other way, let's say I did 35, that's half of that. So down here, tradable balance would be like 20 grand. If I need to go the other way, I still have to sell these first at a loss before I can go the other way. So kind of a moot point. It's like, if I got to go the other way, I got to go the other way. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to lose money or whatever as far as on that trade. Another thing is, as far as leaving some money in your tradable balance, all that really does is make these two prices further apart. So if I didn't max myself out, the liquidation price might be more like 350 or 250. I mean, yeah, it's not gonna happen. Same thing here. I'm trusting that, yeah, it's not gonna drop down $125 rapidly. So, but we've seen, hey, it did it before. It could do it again.
Yeah, so you really need a good $20-$30 rise before you can chill. Basically, you need to see it get over 600. You might relax if then your sphincter can relax.
No, not at all. I just have to see it go, just like any other trade. I need to see it go at this price. I need it to go about maybe $2.60, and then I'm out of the water.
Yeah.
You still got your little fees you got to cover. So at 575, as long as it goes to like 578, it's all profit from there.
So you're talking about what, 2 or 3% or something?
Even
1.5% or something.
Yeah, the fees are like 0.2% at the most.
Yeah.
Bitfinex actually has pretty good fees. They have like a maker-taker type setup, to where if you're making the market and you're putting orders on the book, you actually pay a lot less in fees. You pay like less than 0.1 in some cases, depending on the amounts and stuff. Whereas if you just buy something that's already on the book, or you sell to something that's already on the book, then you're paying the full fee of like 0.2%. It's actually pretty good. Let me see if I can get that page for that. How it works. Our fee. So if you go to Bitfinex, even if you don't log in, there should be an hour fees screen. And so here you go. Let's say executed in the last 30 days. I don't even know where I'm at. Let's just say I'm at the 500 or more. If I put an order on the book and then someone else buys or sells to it, I only pay 0.08% for that trade. If I go ahead and I see that someone is selling 10 bitcoins and I buy them right off the book, I'm paying the most, which is 0.2, which is pretty standard for most of the other sites. So you could save yourself some money in fees if you actually put an order on the book and let someone else take it out.
When you mean if I put some bitcoins in there and let someone else ride them?
And we're just talking about just regular buying and selling Bitcoin. So literally, if I want to sell 10 Bitcoins, and you say I want to sell it at $10 higher than where we're at now, it puts it on the book. and it's on the list, like right here on Bitfinex. It'll be up here listed. Because you put it on the book, you're making the market. And because you're making the market, they reward you by you paying half the fee. You're only going to pay 0.1%.
Oh, you mean if it's a fixed, if it's like a fixed bid or ask?
Correct.
Then I pay half the fee as if I just did a buy or sell at market.
And the way I'll word it is buy or sell on market, or if I was to be looking here and I want to buy, 61 Bitcoins, and I say, well, it looks like I'll have to buy all the way up to here. So if in order to buy 61 Bitcoins at 578, I'm actually taking orders off the book. And at that point, I would have to pay the full fee of 0.2%.
But if you went and put it on
Like
on the second one down, then you'd only pay half the fee.
Correct.
Fixed order.
Yep.
Okay. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I've done a lot of trading on Gox over the last 9 months. You know.
Yeah, it's just getting used to all this weird stuff, all these different sites of how they do things and stuff.
Sure.
Cool. Good information.
I found that if you didn't take your time to place an order, you always got skinned because it would bite into the, you know, the price. What do they call it? Price kind of creep or whatever.
Oh,
you know?
Where it slides.
Yeah. You know, it would always do that beyond what you'd ever would have dreamt of, you know.
Yeah, it's because they're doing market orders.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes you got no choice. Just change your mind.
All right, cool. Well, we've been streaming for a while. We actually hit.
No worries, Bonavest. Thanks. Nice to meet you, mate.
Yes, good having you on here.
A couple of months ago, I saw that you chucked it all in, emptying out your office and all this.
Yeah, I quit my job and I said I'm gonna do this full time, and at about that time, that's when the Bitcoin prices just kind of went sideways. You can't make any money when the price is going sideways.
Yeah. I was out of work for a while last year, you know, to the last 2 or 3 months of the year. So I did a lot of fiddling around with it, and, you know, but yeah, you had to go out and get a job ultimately because I didn't want to spend all my coins just to live.
Yep. You don't want to lose all your coins.
Yeah.
This chart right here we're looking at is starting right here is January 15th. I think I quit on my last day was January 17th, and so here I am. I'm out. I quit my job and I'm gonna do some Bitcoin trading for the next couple of months. You know, 24/7.
Yeah.
And there was like what about 15-20 days of it just going sideways. Oh, that just sucked.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, anyway. No worries. Let's hope it turns around. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah, we should be seeing some more up here. I think we're all on that consensus. There could be some ups and downs, but we're definitely going up.
Righto, mate. Well, thanks for the chat. See you around, eh?
Yeah, see you again sometime, George.
Bye.
Let's see. I'm gonna catch up here at the Bonavest chat real quick. See if there's anything going on in here. The green profit and loss at Finex is without the fees, so watch out. That's coming from Rockers. I had that question myself, actually. I was pretty sure it was including something, and I don't know what, but I know it's got to be including something, even if it's not including the fees, because you can see to where, like, if my base price is 575 and that says 576, I could still be negative. Like even right now, well, that's actually pretty close. But yeah, I was kind of concerned. I was like, I didn't know. Sometimes when it's even over my cost basis, I'm still showing a negative or something. So that's why I thought it was including something in there. Let's see. PPM is saying you can switch swaps when the rate goes down. So yeah, it's one of those things. Oh, okay. Here's a good question. I had that same question because a while back this morning I had a long position, and one of my costs of my swaps was like 1% of $10,000 at 1%. So evidently, what Rockers is saying is to get a lower rate. Like let's say this was like a super high rate of like 1%, and I looked at that other screen for the swaps, and I saw that there was a bunch of them available for less. So what you have to do then is he's saying just check this for check all, uncheck all, or click each one of these individually and say, well, I don't like that rate and I don't like that rate, and then hit close selected. And what it'll do is, this is what he's saying, is that it'll close them out and automatically go back out there and try to find a matching rate, or a matching amount of money. See, I got some noise coming from somebody here. Andre, can you mute yourself for just a second while you're there?
Yes, sir.
No problem. So yeah, that might be a good thing. Like I've got this $10,000 hanging out here at 0.5%, and it's good for 30 days. But if I notice that I go to, let's say, down here and say swap offers, and there's offers out there offering less, and actually right now they're not. All the offers are like 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. But if there was, then all I would have to do is check those that I didn't like, hit close, selected, and then it would go and grab the next best one. So good deal. I appreciate that information. I was curious about that. Let's see. Tina Marie is asking what website is it that I purchase coins at, and then I can send it wherever I want. I use Coinbase, Coinbase.com. We haven't actually discussed the early ins and outs of how to get into Bitcoins in quite a while. So for those of you that's just now finding out what Bitcoins are all about, I use Coinbase. This is pretty much for North America or United States. And so this is what I use. You can sign in, and you can set up even with your bank account to where it'll automatically withdraw straight from your bank account, from your checking account, and buy some Bitcoins.
Hey, Brian.
Oh,
How's it going?
Well, there was like Expo this week, but I didn't feel like going out, so I'm feeling pretty sad. I don't know, it's just like the entire week that I've had like my work holiday, all I've done is stay indoors and play games. It's made me quite sad because it just feels like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Just staying indoors playing games for a whole fucking week, which I don't really enjoy.
That's pretty depressing.
And then I'm pretty sad that I'm fucking like thinking about like, oh, you know, it's like I had a bank account. Oh no, wait, let me turn off this fucking vent.
Hey Brian, just saying, if you could tone down the F-bombs, I'd appreciate it.
Why, it's your kids or something?
A lot of different people, so don't want to offend too many people.
It's like this live streaming show, Brian.
Yeah, by the way, Brian, this is viewers watching talk about. So I feel for you, bro, because I'm in the same position. I'm indoors playing video games and streaming live video for Bitcoin. And it gets
I'm also sad because it's like I feel like I'm worthless at Bitcoin because, you know, I started out with about $1,500 bank account, and now I'm down to like what, 500.
I feel for you.
I don't even know what to do anymore. It's like that money is hard to earn for me. It's like because I only have like a 10-hour job. It's like I spent like maybe like what 4 or 5 months getting that money, and it's like I'm down to like nothing.
Do the inverse Bonnevest indicator. Every time he goes long, short. Yeah.
Would that mean we lose more money? Well, I don't even know. I feel like just leaving this because it's like, you know, I'm useless at trading. So.
Well, we should combine both of you together. Both of you say when you're going long or short, and if you're both going long, it's a guaranteed short. It's set, you know.
It's a double confirmation.
Yeah, double confirmation. Yeah.
I hate you guys.
No, Brian, go on. Tell everybody your sob story about shorting this bull run.
Oh, I was actually short about 480 on max leverage. I had to get out like something like 5. I can't remember when I got out. It's like 530, 540, and like it basically wiped everything. I tried going long, but then like I just getting chopped up, and now I just lost like an extra, you know, just more money and losing. That's what I do.
Yeah, we've all been there, and you're saying the same things that probably a lot of people that are listening to the show right now. They're like, "Yep, me too, buddy." So it happens. It's just you got to learn from what you're doing and try to change what you are doing. Otherwise, you're just repeat it over and over again. So.
Yeah, but it's like when you just think about statistics, when it's like, oh, people's like, oh, trading only 10% people win. It's just like, well, statistically, I'm gonna lose anyway, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm not going to be that 10%. It's like trying to win the lottery almost.
Come on, don't be so hard on yourself, Brian.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but definitely this is. I mean, a lot of people that I've noticed, and we've talked about this before in the past, is that Bitcoin is like the first foray of certain people getting into any kind of investing, and so they see it as techie and cool, and they jump in with both feet, but they really haven't done any kind of trading ever in the past. Maybe their only form of quote investing is gambling. Then they correlate what they're doing with Bitcoin with gambling, and it's like, yeah, you got to learn some maybe some technical things about the charts, or maybe be a little bit more into the news and see what's going on as far as the fundamental news of what's going on with Bitcoin, and that'll help you out. You just got to learn those things.
And the other thing, Brian, I said this to you before, you can trade 841 daily EMA cross. That's a good one. And the other
Well, it
thing,
says to
which
go
is,
long now, so it doesn't.
yeah,
I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like. Am I supposed to be going long now? It doesn't
well,
look like it's
well,
supposed to be a good
well,
idea.
it's a really long-term play. You know, the daily 841 cross is like a monthly play. You know, you leave it for 3 months, and so that's gonna like calm it down and be better. And the other thing I said was stop using margin, because you know, you're going to lose more than you think, and you know, so just buy either be in dollar or be in coin. And the other thing I was going to say is only buy if you know you can sell higher, and that sounds really easy. But basically, if it's at the top of a wave like this now, and you're thinking, oh, shall I buy? It's like, well, what's the risk reward on this going higher versus, you know, risk reward of it coming down? And you know, it's not particularly favourable, you know, to keep going up, you know, without some kind of retracement. We've got a kind of like double top-ish, maybe momentum. It probably will, but you know, it's not certain enough to make 100% win record. So you could say, well, you know what, I'm just going to wait until either it really does break down, you know, in an ugly way, and then I'm going to short it, or you could say, I'm only going to buy when all my indicators say really stupid oversold. And that way, you know, you're just limiting your risk, you know.
So I've got a quick question for you, Brian. You did mention that you've used leverage in the past. So right now, with the $500 you do have, you said you're long. So does that mean you're in
No,
a
no, I'm not actually doing anything anymore. Yeah, I got stopped out of something when I was sleeping. I've set up some stuff and it's like, came back, it's like, I lost money somehow.
Okay, so do you have money still on the website somewhere?
Website?
Whatever trading website you're using.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it cash or is it in coin?
Well, I haven't got any BTC left. It got wiped out. All I have is LTC now.
Okay, so you have coin, but it's in Litecoin.
Yeah.
And you have no cash. It's all in Litecoin.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know the direction of Litecoin and where it's headed exactly. If I had taken losses from $1,500 to $500, and I was horrible at trading and down in the dumps, like kind of sounds like you are right now. At this point in time, if I felt like I still wanted to trade Bitcoin, if I didn't just want to pack it in, keep my $500 and forget about Bitcoin, if I wanted to stay in it, what I would do is honestly, I would buy some Bitcoin and just wait for a couple of months. My son has outperformed me with the Bitcoins that I have given him, or I have bought him with his birthday money and Christmas money and all that stuff. He has outperformed me by making 2 trades. So it's kind of like, as far as, you know, I've traded for him and I bought and sold, like at a high point I sold and a low point I bought back in, and he has way outperformed me percentage-wise because he did very few trades and he just waited. So honestly, if any of you listening are looking at getting into Bitcoin, or you're down in the dumps and you're sitting there with fiat, I would say, you know what, buy some Bitcoin at this price at 576, knowing that 3 or 4 months from now it's going to be higher than that. At some point in time, 3 or 4 months from now, it's going to be higher than 576. Right now, I'd be happy if it just get up to 580 right now. That'd be good. We got some other people joining the call here. We got Johnny. We've got, was it Nedge C? A little cute kitten there. Oh, cute. And then Albert, welcome to the show, guys. They've all got their mics muted. Start your cam. Start UCam. UCam. Please start UCam. You can do it. All right, fellas, what are we at? We're at, man, this 2-hour show turned into a 4-hour show, and that's usually how it works. Quick blurb once again, we've got the website, bonavest.com. We did talk about Fibonacci lines earlier. Andre was talking about some Fibonacci ranges and so forth. If you want to learn more about that, you can Google Bonavest Fibonacci, or you can check out bonavest.com. There's a little article here with some information and a YouTube video that you can follow along. Let's see, we've got, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I usually tweet during the day when I'm at work, and giving different price points. If I happen to do trading or anything, I'll put that out to you guys. You can check that out. That's Bonavest, Bonavest. You can follow me there. Other than that, man, I don't know when the next show will be. I mean, it was kind of exciting to jump on here and see the price action go. It's kind of stalling out here at the moment. Kind of doing a little bit of a porpoising up and down, and I'm just going to hold my position. I've got 70 bitcoins at 575, and I feel like it should get up to the 585 level where it was at before, and it'll just be a question of, is it going to pass through that, or if it's going to just hang out right below it. Right now we're seeing that it's dropping down, and the only thing I'm going to watch is to see that it doesn't make a new low, is pretty much what I'm looking for. No new lows. And with the nighttime coming on, I definitely look forward to seeing what Wubi reaction is in China, see what the Chinese are doing. That usually kind of gives me an outlook of what could be happening on the overnight. So I'm not too worried here. We had a recent sell of 50 Bitcoin right here at 571. That's what gave us this big drop. There's also a 78 and a 20 back-to-back right here. So that's where we're getting this big drop. But yeah, if you look at Wubi, they're doing pretty good, and they're stabilizing. Of course, they got really low volume right now. This is a 5-minute chart. Also, if you got anything out of this show, feel free to send a Satoshi or two my way. Here's a QR code there, and you can also get the wallet ID off of bonavest.com. Halfway down the page, just look for the Coin Life Fists. And appreciate any tips and anything else you want to throw my way. It helps me keep going and want to possibly do more shows in the future. And that's pretty much it, guys. I think I'm going to cut it off here. Enjoyed talking with all my guests here, especially Andre, Dan V. Appreciate you guys coming in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm here.
So appreciate you guys on here, and I think we're going to go ahead and sign off your 4-hour show. And if you missed anything in the beginning, feel free to watch it on YouTube and scroll back.
Hello, hey, it's Johnny. He's in here. Says Albert. There we go. And Nietzsche.
Yeah, they had their mics muted, so I hadn't heard them say anything yet.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, well, see you then, guys.
All right, guys, take care, and until next time, stay calm and keep trading. Take care, guys.
Bye.